Hello, welcome to Blaine's Escape Corner, our little corner of the internet where we get to hang out, talk about the things that help us escape, and hopefully part of that today is not going to be listening to that fan in the back corner of the room, because oh boy, is it a toaster today. But we got a good show tonight. I think today's gonna be a fun one. So we'll get rolling. Hey class, hello everyone. Gotta get that trickle. This happens when you don't stream for a day. Is the algorithm and everybody forgets. It's 7. It's 7. I send out a notification, but it'll wait 5 minutes to actually send out the notification. So that's why I enjoy some water, crack the sake, talk about some of the shows, some of the stuff from the week before I get too deep in anything. Heck of a race weekend. If anybody watches Formula, that was a nail biter at the end there. I mean, the season, of course, is sort of shaping up with that whole look at Ferrari versus Red Bull. Ferrari versus Red Bull. So having Perez get knocked out by Mercedes, by Russell, going too wide on that corner, right away. As soon as he gets back on the track and makes it in, and then you see him doing a lap at half speed, it's no, get that off the track. He is don't waste the engine, don't waste whatever else you have. Get that fixed, and get him back out next time, because that's gonna be rough. So we had Perez with Red Bull dropping out right at the beginning there, and then boom, right at the end, freaking just pew. Science car says, I'm a Ferrari. It's going to be a Flamari. I'm going to blow up now. And it just fire and crazy going on. A buddy of mine pointed out that the runoff that Sainz went into is kind of slanted. So as soon as he tried to get out, it started to roll back because it wouldn't go in gear because the engine exploded. He couldn't do anything. The computer was dead, right? So he's trying to get out, but it's rolling, so he has to hold the brake. Then the guy shows up finally to put the chalk in. He's got this chalk that he's holding with one hand like it's a freaking baby toy. Like it's a baby's little block. He's like, oh, stop this giant car with this tiny block. The chalk I have for my little tiny race car is the size of the tire, and these guys are coming over to the to a Formula car, which is the size of an F-150, and putting this little tiny baby chalk in there. Oh, this will stop it from rolling. Don't worry, we'll put the fire out. No, it'll be okay. It was ridiculous. They need to figure that out. Was it a big race? Kind of. So it was a sprint weekend. So that means that they do qualifiers to see the order of the grid. And then they all start on the grid on Saturday and do a sprint race. So a very short 20-lap race. And then the order that they finish the sprint in is then the order for the Grand Prix, which is Sunday. And so it's a 70-lap race. So it's a very high lap count race because it's a very, very fast track at the at Austria, and it's not super long. So they're putting a minute 6 on qualifying, minute 10 at actual race pace for a single lap. So it wasn't too crazy of a race, and it's not going to change the order of the final points or anything like that. But just the constant oh no, this is happening. Oh no, this is happening. It was a fun race to watch. It was a very fun race to watch. Plus, Haas, double points again. We got Mick Schumacher getting points again. He got his first points last time. He got more points again this weekend. And then Magnussen also getting points. So double points for America's F1 team. Go Haas. You're doing it. You're finally doing it. You're finally in it. You're making it happen. What's going on, Steven Ransom? How are we doing today? I have a brand new cup of chica. This is not my cup of chica that I just refilled. This is a brand new cup of chica sake. I do like this one. It's a little floral. It's a little little floral, a little floofy in the pants, but you know what? It's got just enough gusto, just enough of the dirt and the rice and the carb, the wood, the rafters of the building have made it into the blend. That it's okay. It's okay if it's got a little flour to it. If it's got some rafter dust as well. So, kanpai, everyone. Let's jump into some anime reviews. I like that one. I like that one a lot. I want more of it. All right. I want to do. I've actually started watching summer anime that isn't Bastard. Woohoo! I did it. Oh my goodness. You'd think I wouldn't do it because I was so busy. We left on Sunday. Went up to Canada for the Richmond Night Market. Had a blast. That's a really fun little market. A lot of just crazy weird food ideas. Like it's everybody's trying to be like the next weird thing that gets posted on TikTok or Instagram. It's like I had a sushi taco that was pretty good. I had like French toast mochi. So like they use mochi rice in the French toast, so it's really gooey. Just a bunch of weird stuff like that, and it was pretty dang good. And then my sister sent me a video that was like, look at all the lame crap I ate at this lame place, and I was like, what? What are you talking about? What's lame about it? It's fair food. It's not like, oh, that was so good. It's like, it's overpriced and it's creative. That's what fair food is. You eat a unicorn mega pint of lemonade, not because it's the best lemonade you've ever had, but because it's been fresh squeezed, because they've got a squeezer there and they squeeze one lemon in and then pour the rest as mix. But they'll make one out of blue carousel flavor and call it a blue Hawaiian. And you're like, yes, I gotta have 64 ounces of blue Hawaiian for $8. Oh my goodness. Just finished 86 with my bro. He's now showing me Avatar, and I think I'll pick either Kill la Kill or Bastard for us to watch. Haven't seen either yet. Ooh, what does your brother have a history with anime and like I don't want to say magical girl specifically, but sort of that genre of anime that sort of goes in line with like video games where it's like the female warrior only protects her boobs and cooch. Those are the only things the tribe must protect. You know, like a Sonya sort of armor or any of those. Because if he's already got familiarity with sort of anime's version of that, then I would say go with Kill la Kill, because I love the commentary that it has, as well as just the way it plays with things. No character is stuck to their model. Like, what is his face? The 3-star who comes into the room and he's supposed to be like really imposing. They're really scared, and he literally in the animation when he opens the door fills the room as he like steps into it, even though he's just like a really giant like brick house dude. That I think the way that show plays with animation is very good. Trigger's very good at that. Plus the message is just funny. It's just funny. Whereas Bastard is such a classic show that like, I mean, it's animated Conan the Barbarian if Conan was Inuyasha, right? Like, and I think we've already talked about how Inuyasha takes a lot from Bastard just based on timeline wise. Bastard came first, but more people know about Inuyasha, so we'll say Bastard is Conan the Inuyasha. That's sort of what we got going on there. Good evening, pop culture. I was in your country on Sunday, so I missed anime stream live, but good to see you. Good to see you putting out stuff that morning. Halfway through Vivi. Ooh, Vivi is good. Vivi's very good. Vivi, Vivi is guessable. Like, you can figure out where it's going. You can kind of figure out like what the where the story is going to end up. Like it becomes very obvious, but it's executed so well that who cares? Who cares? Because it's so well done that you're like, oh, you know, with this sort of plot, with this story, they could do this, this, or this, and then they pick this, and you're like, ah, cool. That's a good idea. I like what they're doing here. Like it's very, very well done, and very one of the first shows in a long time where I forgot about the beginning, and then it came back to me. Vivi's your favorite idol anime? True. Vivi's a very good idol. That's cool. You're up here. Hope it was a good time. Yeah, we were just up in Richmond. We were in Little Hong Kong, basically, for the Richmond night market. So had a good time there. I enjoy that. Enjoy that whole town. Been there once before, and it was fun the second time. You love that the timeline is changing and that she's taking charge of the mission. Yes, very, very good, because a lot of times that little we'll call him the fairy character, the Navi, if you will, tends to control everything that we do, and giving her that little bit of autonomy. Would that be the right way to say that? To let her make her own choice about what she wants to do. I think is really great. There is a little bit of a hiccup for me as far as like the how is even finishing it. What's his name? Matsumoto? Is that the little robot bear thing? The little like virus or whatever that comes back in time. Matsumoto, I think. The way that we could change the timeline and they can still be aware of the timeline changing. Is it one of those like where as soon as you jump the timeline, you're independent of what occurs in the timeline kind of things? Or is it one of the his timeline has all the other timelines kind of tied into it, right? It's Mr. Teddy Bear, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure I quite get the how of Matsumoto understanding that the timeline has changed, or that this is different and now we have to go here, and then we have to go here, and then we have to go here. I think I would have. Good anime can't be spoiled. It's not spoilable, I'll say. Like it's really well done. But mostly like it gives you the ending at the beginning, and then as you get through it, you sort of reach the way things have to be, and then you have to figure it out again. So like it's just so well. It's such a good little like, what would you do? What would you do? How would you track this? How would you attempt this? You know, it's very, very well done. But I do have a few issues with the timeline or whatever. I think that he's speculating with known data and current data. Yeah, it's very, very hand wavy, and it should be like the idea of time travel is a physicist wet dream to spend the entire rest of their life being paid to just BS about and chat about and noodle around. Like there are literally people who make money by just thinking about that process. So like we could spend forever in a show explaining how it worked, or we could just have fun being like, yeah, he knows because he's supercomputer from future, you know, and we don't really need anything. A timey-wimey thing. Exactly. Oh my god. Love a good time jump storyline. Kitty Gray did a good job with it. What is your, okay, here we go. Favorite time travel show? Can be anime, can be live action, can be any of them. Are we Looper fans? Are we Back to the Future fans? Are we Terminator fans? Are we single timeline universe where every time you go back it changes the future based on what you're doing? Are we multi-universe where we go back in time and it creates a new timeline so your future still sucks like Dragon Ball, where your future still sucks but this new future is going to be okay? Are we You could answer that, but my answer is a spoiler. You could answer what your favorite time travel show is, but it'd be a spoiler. Is your favorite time travel show Teppen? Oh, what is going on? Time after time, H.G. Wells versus Jack the Ripper in present day? What? Oh my goodness. Zepang was an anime that had a modern Japanese destroyer travel back to World War II. Did it just go back and they had a story about it, or did it affect the future? That's always a question I have. The time travel thing is a reveal, so you can't even mention the show. Oh no! Here, DM me because I've probably seen the show. I can't. If it's the show I think it is, I also really like that show, and I like that method. I prefer the method where it's singular timeline. So what you do when you go back affects the future. So you have to sort of butterfly effect your ass to figure out like, oh, if I do this, if I break this stop sign, they won't slow down here, and then they won't get T-boned when they finally go forward, that kind of thing. But then you affect something else, right? And then when you go back to the future, it affects you where you return to. I prefer the affecting loops as opposed to the unaffected loops. That was kind of my least favorite thing about the Trunks saga and the Cell saga, is when Trunks goes back and it's like, well, he went back to hell. Congratulations, have fun with that. They tried not to affect the future. It was a good story on how they were going to survive. Good. All right, I heard a buzz. Maybe that was the. Look at this. Is gonna let me. I can create highlight videos and add stream markers. That's so cool. I can finally do that. Ah. Okay. Manga based or? Because other than that one, you like Groundhog's Day? Groundhog's Day is fun. I question what you say as time travel. Like, I know everybody calls it time travel, but like, I don't know. It definitely is timey-wimey. I will agree that it's timey-wimey, but I don't know that it's time travel specifically. So if that should tell a lot of people kind of what it is, because I always felt it was just like a connection, like a mental connection, as opposed to actual time travel. No, I'm sure there's like manga specific or something else, but based on anime alone, it just felt like there was sort of this like this mind link of like the mind link traveled outside of time, but the actual physical actions don't really travel outside of time. So it's basically time travel. Okay, yeah, okay. I can get down with it. I can get down with that interpretation. I feel like for me, time travel versus time messaging is different. Just for something in me says like, I don't want to call that time travel, right? You're like, oh, I'll send a letter to myself in the future. That letter is kind of like time travel of a message to yourself, because you're going to touch yourself in the future with that message. But it's not like you reached out and talked to your future self to be like, hey, are we still on track to own a Corvette, you know, or whatever it may be. I'll tell you, Steven. I'll tell you, and then you go, huh? I don't know that they were. Again, I feel like the brains were like. Again, I don't think that messages. Just a message, just an idea, moving through time, and then it's the whole question of like how that whole thing works with everybody's minds connecting. I just don't think that. I don't think. For me, for my dollar, I would not call that time travel. But the second I put in time travel with that, it was like all of these like theories on how the time travel worked. And I was like, I would not have called that time travel. But, you know, everybody's got their own definitions nowadays. So it's okay. Groundhog Day is kind of a funny one. Groundhog's Day is more like time, no punishment. What if they weren't there, but they are in the memory because of the way the mind link works? So you're not physically there, but you can mind link into the memory, and then what is it? Like, again, ultimately, what does it matter? What is the difference? We're now getting into sort of that physiological psychology of what is real. Is what's real what actually occurs in the physical world, or is what's real our perception? But we can only know what's in the physical world by our perception. So, you know, if I perceive a thing in my memory, like I remember perceiving this thing, but then I go back and that thing isn't physically there, and it never was. It's just my memory that remembers it. Again, the info could be in my brain, but that doesn't mean that it was physically there. Guy could see him at times, definitely heard him all in the moment. Again, other characters couldn't see him, but the guy could see them because they're in his memory now. They're like implanted in his memory. And it's like in a very interesting way. Like if you had something like that, like ghost sightings, right? Ghost sightings are actually people that are traveling back into your memory to look at something while you're there. And because they've traveled back into your memory, now you kind of remember them, but you don't really see them. It's kind of a cool idea of like, oh, did you see that? And like no one else sees it, but you're the only one who sees it because they're like time traveling in your brain. Like, but at the same time, to me, like that's not. Like time traveling is like go back and like they're like I'm there. Everyone can see me. I can do things. I can poke things. All that kind of stuff. I see the argument for it being time travel. Like I will agree that I would call that time travel. They're in his mind at that exact, but they're in his mind again. That we're not. I don't know if I can get you past like understanding what I'm saying. They're not physically in the world. They are not there. Like they are not actually in the world there. They are just in that mind looking around at that point in time. It's a distinction without a difference, let's say. But again, my big issue is no one else can see them because they're only in the one guy's mind. So it's not, to me, I have trouble calling that time travel. Mind travel, we can call it mind travel or mind time travel or time mind travel, like whatever we want to say. But like it's, for me, for my dollar, if I'm going to call something a time travel show or say that a show has time travel elements, I want the physical thing to move through time and be fully in that other time. not just like, oh, I'm visiting the memories and I'm affecting things in the memories, right? Totally lost this conversation. Sorry, I really hate the show, so I kind of want to just spoil it. But we'll see. We'll see if you guys get me down for it. You totally lost it. Founder chart of all time travel types is fiction. YouTube time travel and fiction rundown. Perhaps we could take a look, or should we debate? Oh, let's take a look. YouTube time travel and fiction rundown. Is this show anime? Yes. Let's play 20 questions. The TV show Quantum Leap was excellent time travel. I love Quantum Leap. Mostly because I like the lead, but... Oh, I've seen this one. Let's get the... hold on. I gotta move chat over here so that I can see you guys, because I'm about to full screen a thing. Quantum Leap is such a good show. Like, very few people have seen it. But it wasn't in the memories for the person experiencing it. He was there at that moment, having those people in his ear. He was drawn there. Like here's the thing that is hard to get through, I think, this conversation. He was not there. He was not standing there. He was not talking in his ear. In his brain, where he perceives things, he was talking in his ear. It's again, it's a distinction without a difference. We're talking about the actual perception of reality compared to reality itself. Is what is actually occurring, like, is my phone really here, or am I seeing my phone, feeling my phone, the weight of my phone? Is it all just a perception in my brain? Because now that I set my phone down, all I have is the fact that I remembered that. I remember that thing I was doing. He literally was, though. There was a scene after the ear scene where he literally tugs on one of the time travelers. I remember holding my phone. I'm not holding my phone now. And the only thing I have for proof of that is you guys seeing it. But if you guys weren't here, was I really holding my phone a second ago? All I have to go on is the memory of what I did. I think it's a difference without a distinction still. So it's one of those things that it's like we are in agreement that there is some sort of timey-wimey thing going on. Is the cat in the box? Is the name longer than Bread Box? Yes. Blaine isn't even real. It's true. I am just a VTuber. Oh, he doesn't have like a nice, just big chart of all of them that he has, does he? Trees don't make noise when they fall in the woods because Blaine didn't see it. It's true. That's 100% true. Try this. And this isn't just me being like obstinate about this. This is like an entire like phase of we'll say philosophy, or area of philosophy, area of study that talks about this kind of thing, where it's the big thing for me is that no one else experiences them being there. I can touch things in my memory. I can remember touching things that I may have never touched. Why you should always tell the cops, I don't know. Because you may remember speeding, but you may be wrong. You may not have been speeding. You may have been going under the speed limit. You don't know at the time the cop gunned you whether or not you were speeding or not. So when they say, do you know how fast you were going? I don't know. I don't know how fast I was going the second you hit me with your speed gun. I may have a false memory about that. Hey, call me John. How are you doing? Always good to see you. They directly affect the past. They aren't just changing memories. But are they? And if something can go back and change a memory, can change a perception, but it doesn't travel to that point, it can still affect the past. It can still affect what happens. Like if I go back into your past and I change the way you remember doing something, you may change the way you do that thing in the future, right? Like you can go back and affect things in the mind. Like you can reach into the mind, but you cannot. Does that mean no one remembers didn't happen? It means what did happen. That's the question. What did happen? Right? If everybody's memories get changed and no one remembers how anything happens, if we all get our memories wiped right now and we're suddenly wondering why we're all staring at a glowing screen and we remember nothing, did all of our life leading to this happen? Is a question of what actually occurs. Okay, I've got a do. The argument is like saying Subaru hasn't died. Right. The Subaru, the body of Subaru that we currently know has not died. Right? Just because he remembers dying, his body has not died. Take that in your brain for a second, right? We watched it. We enjoyed it. The memories weren't changed, though. They lived through this dude's whole life and physically changed the future through him. How do you know? How do you know the memories were not different until the point at which he started poking around in the mind? My Subaru better not die. It's Elise. Same with mine. My Subaru already died once, and I brought it back to life with a new engine. We did the 22 or no, not the 22 B. We did the STI takeout. Problem is, we're talking about fictional time travel with massive amounts of variance of time philosophies in that fiction. Well, and we're also talking about like time travel in a fiction that doesn't really explain it. It just says here's what's going on, and then stuff happens. It really gives no explanation about exactly what's going on. Boxer engine? Hell yeah. I got an O2 bug eye. I got a 35,000 mile takeout STI that I swapped with it, so that I could pop that in there. Up next is gonna be I'll run this one for a while because I got the takeout and I've been running it, but it's got some issues. Like there was some stuff I didn't check for when we installed it. So I'll run this one till it blows and then swap it for the S202 and the matching 6-speed. That's the next upgrade will be to get that. All right, we got different types of timelines here to look at. Groundhog's Day, you just keep repeating the same day until you finally break the sequence. But theoretically, there's a bunch of timelines that extend out. You're 5 minutes from debating me on this? Okay. Again, I said I can see the argument to call it time travel. I just cannot call poking around in one person's memory time travel. I can't. I cannot. I will not call that time travel. Did you time travel? Did time travel happen when you go back in time, change the future to one where you never went back in time? Hail pop mechanic. Chad has been trying to guess what it is. Michael brought it up. It's a show that you would not think about having time travel in. And I actually had to Google to like figure out what the time travel was supposed to be, because I would not have called it time travel personally. We have Harry Potter, where we have a timeline, and then we jump back in that timeline, and then get to change how things go moving forward and catch up to ourselves in the new timeline. They're all a mess of angry debaters. Again, the problem that we would have, and the reason I'm not going to debate you on this, is I can see with the way it was animated and what they talk about, somebody saying that's time travel. So the person doesn't act because of the meddling of time travels that only he can see. Are you seriously saying that his acts are done regardless, and the memories are the only thing being affected? We don't see his actions without the meddling. We never see that, so we don't know what it was before. It could have been that way in sort of a time loop where it was always destined to occur, or there was a completely different timeline that changed at the point of travel of the message. Because again, my argument is that it's a time traveling message and not a time traveling person. That, like, yes, it is arguably messing with the past, but it's not necessarily an actual time travel. Because for me, time travel is your physical being, who you physically are, your flesh and blood, the atoms that make you up, leaving your current time space, going back and doing something, and then you can return, you can follow with that timeline, you can do any number of things, but you physically have to be there in the world for me to call you time travel. Because the meddling happened in real time. Did it? Did it, though? It is in the past when they were messing with it. They were from the future affecting the present while it happened. I don't know. Again, you were calling sending a message, because you agree. If you're talking about Steins Gate, it's totally time travel. Not Steins Gate. 20 questions still. 20 questions on the board. Who am I debating? I'm not debating anybody. I'm not debating anybody. I will not call it time travel when you don't physically travel through time. It's the equivalent of, like, if you boot up a computer, and as that computer is booting up, you look at that computer and you're like, hey, you know what? This thing needs a new driver. And you replace that driver, and now the computer works in the way you intend it to. Now the computer functions in a way, but you did not physically enter the computer. You did not physically move the electrons and make the computer, like, do a thing. You clicked some buttons and downloaded it, and now it's working. Like, you didn't really enter the past. The computer is the past in this case. It is now making the future that we want. It's making the product we want. We're not entering the computer. We're just downloading a driver. It's a little different. Good grief, that's the show you're talking about. Just checked your DM. Good grief, that show is gore porn, and now there's time travel. There's not time travel, though, is what I'm saying. I'll spoil this. I'm sure Chad has seen this show. I'm just stating my opinion. It's because he keeps saying stuff. What is the show? I'm not curious as much as Blaine is saying the debate isn't obviously a debate. here's a question. In the past decade of anime, all right, think about the past decade of anime. Does anybody, I'm gonna get rid of this. Does anybody care about spoilers for any of the biggest shows that were out? Show of hands in chat. I'll make a poll. Okay, so if Tokyo Revengers time travel, then that's a good question. That's actually a really good question, though, because is it time travel if it's just a brain? And why are you so quick to spoil that one? Not really, no. Yeah, exactly. It's weird. Oh wait, no. Are you guys answering the poll? Okay. We'll let the poll run for a little bit. It is. You're still lost. Don't worry, you won't be lost soon. We'll get everybody on track. It's 42 minutes in, and I haven't even said what shows I've really watched yet, so there's still time this episode. Inuyasha is time travel. Yes, Inuyasha is time travel. It's a weird time travel too, if you think about it, with the whole like shards in the future thing. That's a funky one. Is Tokyo Revengers time travel then? This is becoming gruel. Literally the premise of the show. Inuyasha is time travel. Yeah, well, I have to say I'm on the fence with something like Tokyo Revengers. You would say yes, Tokyo Revengers is time travel. All right, we've got 3 votes that all say no. They don't care about spoilers. We got 1 for yes. I know that's you, Michael. Tokyo Revengers is time travel. It's the whole premise of the show, basically the same in the other show. We only just see it. We just only see it happen once. But it's not his own, like, memory. Like, they don't have direct impact on the world around them. All they're doing is changing a memory. When Tokyo Revengers time travels, he is physically able to move his body. People are able to see him when he does this, when he touches them, when he moves them. Everyone in the world sees the way that he acts and moves and does things. I think his physical control of the world is what changes my mind on Tokyo Revengers being time travel. The way to get to this answer is to break down the question, what is time travel? Well, exactly. I have broken down that time travel requires moving to a different point in time space and being physically present in that space. That is what I am saying for time travel. Now, the Mike almost got me with Tokyo Revengers. Tokyo Revengers, I was about to call not time travel until I realized that he was physically present in that space, able to move and affect the space. And I think it's that tells me whether or not something is time travel. Clicking the button, but it's not going through. I'm not worried about spoilers. I don't see how you could not put Tokyo Revengers in the time travel category. I'd consider memories going to the past as time travel. The memories are time traveling. Interesting. See, I have issue with that, but it's okay. Do you need to be physically there, though? For my definition of time travel, you do. For what I would call time travel, you do. Now, if there is a time travel that you can bring out, the main character needs to be in the new space. Yeah, they need to be able to be there, physically affecting the world, not just the memory. But if you want to, E-Class, take this idea. I would consider memories going to the past as time travel, and hit me with a show that does this that I would have to call time travel. We can change my definition. But for right now, my definition, sits at you have to physically be in that new space to affect the world. You travel back to my memories all the time. Nice. By this definition, Vivi might not be time travel then. The difference with Vivi and their time travel is that they are AI, so they don't... Ghost in the Shell, they aren't tied to a physical body, but they can go back in time and they can physically affect the world around them. Like Matsumoto and the teddy bear can move that teddy bear and walk around and do stuff. He has time traveled in my thought. Vivi's how this started. Not the only reason Bane believes they aren't there is because the only one person could see them because they traveled into his mind. Exactly. And with E-Class telling me that he would vote for no, that means we have an 80-20 split on no, we don't care. It's Attack on Titan. Spoiler alert! Some people think Attack on Titan has time travel. This guy doesn't. Now let's talk about it with real words. I'll give the chat the 20 seconds to catch up on that. The difference, Steven, in the memory exploration is they are not just exploring the memory, they are affecting the actions of the person whose memory they are in, even though they aren't affecting the world around them. They are causing changes in that person's memory to then lead to things. So, in Attack on Titan, it is revealed that once Eren, in his Attack Titan, touched Historia, he was able to reach this sort of other plane where Yuri, whatever her name is, the like lead, the first lady who made a deal with the devil. You would have considered AOT as time travel if they ever utilized seeing the future to try to make plans. Oh. But again, that's just foresight. Like, prediction has been in anime and shows since the Greeks with the Fates, and that's not really considered time. Like, you wouldn't call the Odyssey a time travel show, even though the Fates tell them what's going to go on in the future, right? That's sort of my thought. It's the reverse of that. It's saying, oh, if I go back into the past and sort of, like, talk to this guy's brain, he'll do something different. That's an oof due to story, lol. I don't know what the oof is there. But anyway, once he impacts with Historia, with a member of the royal bloodline. Oh, you're saying you don't consider AOT as time travel? Exactly. Now I can say it out loud. Precognition or premonition. Because what happens is he goes to the Attack on Titan root tree, right? The giant root tree that lets him like poke around in the full timeline of people's memories and go to anywhere in the memory in order to like see what's going on. But he's not just like poking around in the memory. He can actually change things in the memories of these root trees. So he can go into the memories and see what they're doing if they are in his like Titan bloodline thing, right? So we all understand the Titan bloodline, and he can go back into the brains of the past of his Titan bloodline and change their memories or affect them or be like a ghostly like premonition. Like he's but to my point, I don't believe that he is physically leaving the tree world. I think he's in Sand World with the memory tree. He was doing it from the start. That was the whole thing about the reveal. He was doing it from the time he touched Historia, because when he touched Historia, he got transported to the tree and began his whole dealie. And if you think about it, the ability to affect the memory of the previous Titan holders, then you get the memories of the previous Titan holders. So now you've eaten the memories of them, so you can see yourself in the future of their, or in the past of their memories. So you can see where it's going to be going, and you can get it to that point. But it all starts when he brushes on Historia's hand in the like jailhouse or the courthouse, whatever they were in or whatever. It wasn't Historia, it was Zeke. It was Zeke when he actually was trying to bring it to fruition at that point. But when he first gained that power was when he brushed against Historia in the courthouse. He brushes against her, and when him with his attack titan come into contact with a royal, he's able to transport to the tree, because he literally, when he goes there with Zeke, he says, this isn't the first time I've been here. He says he's been there before. He knows who Ymir is. That's her name. And he's able to move through. How did he change the memories of the guy before Grisha if we didn't do it in the tree? He did it in the tree at the point where he touched Historia. But my point is, the memories were not there until that point. But your issue is, now that you've implanted memories into the past, those memories have been there the entire time. It's more like seeing the future than time travel. That's just me, though. I'm fine if others consider it timey-wimey. Again, 100% timey-wimey. 100% timey-wimey. I can send a letter to myself in the future. I can't send a letter to myself in the past. It's timey-wimey by definition. However, I just don't see it time travel. You have to get up early, so konbanwa, kanpai, and banzai. Have a wonderful night, Dennis. Not thinking about time travel versus memory changing. And you can look at it as the memories change at that moment, and then they are that memory at that moment. So moving from that moment forward, those memories have always been that. So of course it all led to that. So it's sort of one of those, like, you go back in time to change the past, but it creates the future again. So now you have a time loop where everything's like messed up. But like, he didn't physically go to the past. He didn't physically go and affect the past. He poked into the tree memory hole. That's why I went with the computer analogy, that he poked in. Me, if I change the BIOS on my computer and change its start date from the month that I got it to the next month in the future, the computer thinks that it's always been that month in the future. It has no idea that it was actually built in the past there, and it doesn't really matter or care. It always just knows that this is my new birthday, right? So it's one of those things where you're not actually going back. I didn't go back in time and actually change the day that I built the computer. I just changed the memory of the computer, which then is going to affect how the computer works moving forward. So I just can't, it's just information, and it's just changing memories. They're not physically modifying the world. 100% timey-wimey. Timey-wimey. But I 100% see the argument that if your entire, if you look at it with this idea of communication and affecting people and just being able to make, so no time loop means no time travel, not necessarily, no. You have to move to a different point in time and be able to physically affect the world. You have to move through time space to affect the world. You can't just poke a brain from another dimension and call that time travel. That's what I'm saying. Ultimately, I think that's the simplest way that I can say it, is poking a brain from another dimension so that its memories change and it affects how the past happened so that it can make your future what you want it to be, is not the same as physically going to the past and making those changes. That's the difference to me between time travel and not time travel. I will understand anyone who says they affected time. That's time travel. I get it. I can see that. I understand your argument. They went to a different point in time and affected the world. It wasn't another dimension. It was their dimension just earlier. The tree is their dimension? The memory tree? Like Logan in Days of Future Past, he's in his past body. But he's in his past body physically able to move and do stuff, though. So that's a little different. I don't know that Ymir dimension is the real world in any way, or their earlier past or anything like that. Because, again, my argument is they are mentally in this other dimension. They are mentally then in this dimension poking the past memories of people in the past. And then those memories that they're poking are receiving messages and information that we are seeing as them physically being there. But it's like a VR goggle. Like you put it on, you're like, oh, look at this crazy memory, right? Here I am looking at a memory. Like if you put on VR goggles and you're in the Colosseum, did you time travel? Now let's say you put on VR goggles and you're in the Colosseum and you become the great gladiator and now you're Michael the Gladiator, and then you take off the goggles and now you have a textbook that has Michael the Gladiator. But your body and you never left this position, never left where you are in time space, and all you did was affect the way that a person in the past was thinking. You never physically went there. You never physically did anything. You just sort of told that person to like work out and do these things, and they became a great gladiator, and you got them to name themselves after you. But did you time, like, I can understand the argument that my ability to change the timeline could be considered time travel. I can understand somebody arguing that. I just disagree. I say time travel, because if we have 3D space and a timeline to another 3D space, right? Here's my two 3D spaces on two different, the same point, but different points in time. I need to physically be in this space to be able to affect it somehow. Just sending a message to that space, just sending a memory to that space is not time travel. That's time messaging. Okay, hold on. I consider the timey-wimey stuff in AOT as BS, so I'm probably not a good resource for this. Also, I think the entire Royal Blood stuff BS, so it's probably better to refer to AOT fanatics. There are articles. Let's pull up an article, because I like the world of Attack on Titan agrees with Michael. So you claim he couldn't change the future unless he was in that world, yet he only entered that world once before Zeke. It was with Historia. It was with Diana's Titan. Oh, the big goofy Titan. Is that what it was? I only remember the Historia one. That was when he started getting memories of the past. I thought the way that it worked was that when he encountered the Titan of the Royal, because it wasn't a direct contact with the royal blood, with the royal like skin or whatever, and them being in Titan form, that he didn't get all of the like the powers and stuff that come with going to the other world. That it wasn't until he had touched physically Historia that he actually got that. Attack on Titan time travel explained. Here we go. We'll use comicbook.com. Or should we use Korra? Let's use Korra. Okay, here we go. We'll use Korra. He can only enter the world with a Titan of royal blood. Historia isn't a Titan. You sure about that? You sure about that? Oh god, Korra making me sign up. Get out of here. No! Forget you. Oh, I hate Korra now. We're not using Korra anymore because I hate the way they make you sign up on stuff. What did Eren see when he touched Historia? This stream. Yeah, make sure you hit like on this stream because this is what it's about. It's about rambling about time travel for an hour before we ever talk about a specific anime. And then when I finally bring up the specific anime, it's like, oh, I don't care about that anime. Nobody likes that show. Short, just manipulating time isn't time travel. Thank you somebody for changing that for me. He didn't start unlocking the memory of past or future until he touched Diana. I don't remember Historia having any part in it. Then you're the one who needs to freaking remember how the show works. He literally kisses her hand and has that whole like because he just like sought through all of the memories and everything at that moment. Hold on, where are we at? Oh god, this is all timey-wimey too. Oh, this is so hard to read. When season 3 Eren kissed Historia's hand, he saw Grisha's memory of his slaughter with the Rice family, which Grisha did on future Eren's orders, with season 4 Eren present via... It's like, oh my god. Season 4 Eren only goaded Grisha into killing the Rice family. Grisha later confirmed that he saw the end result of season 4 Era's plans for the future. Eren has apparently accomplished. Put simply, season 3 Eren saw season 4 Eren in Grisha's memory, and through Grisha's memory, he saw future Eren's plan. Effectively, when season 3 Eren kissed Historia's hand, he saw his entire future. Whatever Eren Yeager's ultimate goal, that's the problem with time. My thoughts that you have to be physically present and able to interact with the environment in order for it to be true time travel. Thank you. This is a subject that ends friendships. Or creates hilarious content online where I sit here just saying, I understand you, I believe you, I know that that's what you believe, I just don't agree. I think you have to be physically present. I don't think you can just affect things and call it time travel. Unless you're saying that he's physically present and able to affect the world. Could he go throw a rock through someone's window? There's the simplest test. There's we have all these different tests. We have a bunch of tests that we can do to see if the world is round. We can test to see if the triangle is a right triangle. This is Blaine's test for time travel. All right, Blaine's test for time travel. Can you pick up a rock and throw it at a window? If yes, time travel. If no, time manipulation. The Attack Titan is even able to peer into the memories of its future successors. In other words, it has the ability to foresee the future. So then here's your question of if it's like even Eren or if it's just the Attack Titan that's like, I'm going to do this. How come Grisha only sees the memory Eren wants him to see? Again, is it Eren or is it the Titan? Is Eren even the one who's really doing anything, or is it this Attack Titan that over the years has grown its own sort of scent? It's the Venom versus Eddie Brock? Yeah, Venom versus Eddie Brock, right? Is it Eren's memories and thoughts and ideas that he's doing this, or is he now the Attack Titan? Is the Attack Titan sort of warped him into this other thing, right? He can only show them that they throw a rock at the window. The key ability of the Attack Titan is to passively receive visions or memories of its future successors. These memories are like movies. They are viewed but not interacted with. Eren Kruger experienced this when he remembered the names of Armin and Mikasa. Although users of the Attack Titan can receive memories of the future, they normally can't change or interact with any memories at all. Even Eren could not do this before now. So why was Eren able to seemingly change things in this chapter 121? Because he had the perfect conditions. The Attack Titan, the Founding Titan, and contact with the royal blood. The key is Eren's head tap with Zeke. Zeke having full control of the coordinate can use paths to allow them to the two experience Grisha's past memories in full without limitations. We see that Eren and Zeke walking through Grisha's life. With condition 2 and 3 fulfilled, Eren and Zeke can freely view Grisha's life as through a one-way mirror. Exactly, one-way mirror. Eren isn't the Attack Titan. Is that really where we're at right now? No. You misunderstand. You misunderstand. I'm saying the Attack Titan could be its entire own consciousness. Because the Attack Titan is able to give its past Titans future memories, there must be some sort of mind link across them. And if there's a mind link across them that goes beyond the physical body that they're inhabiting, we could call that a consciousness. This is the first thing I thought when I watched. Is he even still Eren after gaining all these memories? Or is he now someone else entirely? Yeah, exactly. You're like, whoa, like what is a person? What makes a person who they are? One-way mirror, what crackhead wrote this? Grisha reacts to them multiple times, one-way mirror. You can see through a one-way mirror, kind of. That's where I thought like it's a fun idea to think of like ghosts and paranormal phenomena as time travelers. Like people who come back and we can't really see them super clearly, so we sort of see them as a ghost. I think that's sort of an interesting idea that could be explored longer, right? Just like if Historia had eaten Eren, she would have totally changed. Right. Right. 100%. I think Eren allowed Grisha to see him. Well, I mean, if you're poking around in someone's memory, you can change what they remember seeing. So it's not an issue. And then he's got the future memory and all that. Grisha sees Eren future at some point during the Reese family massacre, as the Attack Titan allows him to do so. During the awards ceremony in Chapter 90, Eren kisses Historia's hand, and thanks to Historia's royal blood, he unlocks Grisha's full memory of the Cavern Massacre. This includes, of course, Grisha's vision of the future. This is why Eren changed and how his goal formed in the vision. Grisha caught a short glimpse of something horrible, but Eren saw something worth fighting for, which is the truth? ? Oh, even these are stupid. Like none of these are good. It's again, I can understand thinking that somebody manipulating somebody's actions through their memories in the past, through their past, through their memories, so through what they're perceiving, to be like time travel, but I will call it time manipulation for the sake of argument. However, for time travel, you have to physically move along the timeline. Remember the double weird hands? I got physical timeline. You move back in the timeline, and you can physically interact with the world back then. We're reading some Christy Gibbs explanations and treating it like fact. I even what they wrote, I still think was silly. Like that's still not great, but it was. I mean, they had chapter sightings or citations. I think AOT is going for a Code Geass ending. No spoilers though. Akashic Records, Wikipedia, the religion of theosophy and philosophy school called anthroposophy. The Akashic Records are a compendium of all universal events and thoughts. E-Class, I really hope they don't do that and kill them all. Yeah, I think Attack on Titan would be good if it just ended. If it just ended with like worldwide reset. I think that would probably be the most. You got to think like when Attack on Titan came out, people were like, whoa, people die in this anime. That's crazy. And you're like, yeah, people die in anime all the time. We've been watching anime for years where like a main character would get killed off like a few episodes in, and we literally have to change main characters. Not Darker Than Black. There's some show where you literally change main characters after like 4 episodes for no apparent reason. You're just like, oh, well, this guy's dead now. Now it's going to number 2. Black Cat, Darker Than Black. I don't remember which one it was, but something in that same vein. So anime has been killing people forever, and everybody's like, oh, it's Attack on Titan to kill people. Oh, they ate his mama. Like, it's just, oh, but he got eaten, but he's alive. Oh no, something else. Oh, but he's alive. Oh, she's alive. Like, there's so many people with plot armor. It's insane that people like think that show is so cool and so edgy. Oh, the people are really being fooled. They're being tricked by the government. It's sort of a commentary on religion and what people. I freaking hate that show. No reset, obliterate all the world's population. Everyone must die for. Well, see, to me, a full global annihilation would be world reset. That would be what that means. And by extension, his friends, yeah, because they can't survive on their own or something. So like, it's like, well, now everybody's gonna die because we can't keep the world running. Attack on Titan was mind blower for a new generation of anime viewers. Gundam did this all the time. Yep. It's one of the. It's like the people that think Shikimori is the best romance ever. They just haven't seen a lot of anime to know that there's other better shows out there. And it's like, it's not bad. It's just not good. Quit thinking it's so great. But yeah, no, it's definitely just like a good show for like a generation of people to get excited about. So I hope it ends with just that. It has to go with the most trench coat wearing middle schooler take. It has to be, and everybody died because I hate them. Please, Eren is probably going to be the villain in the public's eye, while Falco is seen as the hero for killing him. Is probably a plan made because they see the future and made plans. Does Falco see the future too? Is that a Jaw Titan power or whatever? Oh my goodness. So I saw Call of the Night. 1 hour and 13 minutes. Cool. Don't compare this to Shikimori. They literally had my dress up right before that and then decided Shikimori was good. They are stupid. Hold on. Let me before I agree to not do that, let me make sure that they didn't have something better right before Attack on Titan season 1. When did season 1 come out? 2017? No, it's earlier than that. That was season 2. 2016? 2015? Planes Escape. Welcome to Planes Escape Corner, our little corner of the internet where we talk about things that help us escape. Whoa. Where's season 1? What the heck? $2013? Gee, Baloo! I didn't realize it was that far back. Woo! It was... Gosh, E-Class, where are you with your memory on this? It was spring of 2013. Same season that first Devil is a Part-Timer came out. 2013 wasn't a good year. Eren is probably receiving memories from future Falco when he eats him and becomes a... Oh, so true. MCR broke up that year, but then they got back together, kinda. They got kinda back together. They literally had the Advent in the Berserk Golden Age arc. If that wasn't CG, people would have watched that and said that that was the greatest thing ever. Holy crap! CG killed freaking Berserk and allowed Attack on Titan to claim its viewership. if the Berserk Golden Age arc had been in good animation, not even great animation, just good animation, it would have been the thing people were talking about in the winter of 2013. And then when Attack on Titan came out, people have been like, man, I've seen a show that's willing to kill people. And this ain't it, man. Do you remember the Eclipse? Yeah, brah, the Eclipse. You want to see people that you care about get dismembered? Pfft, get out of here, Attack on Titan. The Eclipse happened. What do you think you are? Oh my goodness, I can't believe that. That's crazy. We could be in a totally different world. CG killed the radio star. Boom, 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 boom. Higurashi, yeah, that was up there too on the as I was scrolling for popularity. I like Call of the Night. I like Toga, the vampire girl. I think it's fun. I think it's nice that all of the cosplayers that did Toga from My Hero now have a second use for their wigs and their teeth. Like it's wonderful. I'm glad the mangakas got together and made sure that their animes aired at a time where the cosplayers could reuse their wigs and their props. I think that was really nice of them. So I'm excited to see all of the future Toga cosplayers that are now going to be Nanako, Nazuna? Heck's her name? Nazuna. Black Ocean, won't you come and wash away the rain? Black Ocean, won't you come? Won't you come? Boom, boom, boom. Gosh, that song goes on a little too long, but I love it. Gotta agree. We've got at least my favorite opening of the season so far. I like the song from Bastard better. I love the song from Bastard better, but the visuals paired with creepy nuts like jazzy electro funk make the Call of the Night opening just fantastic. Plus the dance studio design, and then the little director's chair thing going on where it's like they're watching the show. It's very fun. Very, very fun. Got me in the mood. Got me in the like, oh, this is going to be the next big romance. And you know what's going to make it a contender? Like, again, we've got a lot of anime to watch before we start laying down like best of what we think, right? However, we're getting the good romance here. We're getting the guy with a specific failing. We're getting the girl who we're going to see a failing. We've got hints that something's wrong, but she has some sort of solution that them being together will move them towards. We have Guy now with a goal to move towards. We have excitement in their relationship growing and changing. We have resistance to that change. We have good drama built in right from the top. Right from the top. Is it as good as the My Dress Up Darling ending? Ooh, doo 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 doo. Hey hey hey. I don't know, but I don't know that I would put OPs and EDs in the same competition. But if I had a song that or a show that started with the fun dancing of Creepy Nuts and ended with that bum 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 of Dress Up Darling, I think I would be in love with that OPED combo. I love the big jacket. I'm a sucker for a big jacket waifu. That's always a fun design. I always like that. Plus you're getting that little bit of that absolute territory built into the thigh high boot combo that she's rocking. But they're like thigh high boots on like heels that look like Asuka's new platform shoes. So really just a fun design overall. Have we seen the ending yet? I don't remember if we did. No, they kind of redid the they played the song, but then they were doing like a slideshow of like what they were doing. So unless the ending is a slideshow of the whatever action is going on screen at the same time, then no, we haven't seen an actual ending yet. We'll have to wait till we actually see an actual ED from them, which it may be online already, but I'm not going to go out of my way to see it. I want to be surprised with it. But very, very fun, very, very fun overall. It would be cool if we had a show where all season it just does like whatever action they were doing as the ending. Especially given sort of the goals of the show, where it's like, hey, we're trying to work together more. Very, very good, very exciting. I also watched Teppen. I watched Teppen because it's a show set in Osaka, and you never have shows set in Osaka. That's so rare to get. And then the show said, think about it. They never do tokusatsu in Osaka. They only do it in Tokyo. The bad guys never want to take over Osaka. And you're like, whoa, this show just said the thing that I was thinking about why this show was even on my radar. Oh, greetings and salutations, one-man show. If you want a trip, you could time travel to the beginning of this and listen to me ranting about what I think is and isn't time travel. That's always fun. We could do that later. So enjoy traveling back into my timeline and being able to listen there. Teppen is the least funny show ever. You like the premise of them doing comedy routines, but then we don't get to see them actually perform. Right. But we do kind of like here. Did you remember Odd Taxi? Odd Taxi is probably the next most recent. ReZero loves to play the ending song over the last scenes of the anime instead of playing the animation. Yeah. And if we get that for all of Call of the Night, I'll be very, very happy. Manzai comedy is not funny to a Westerner. Fooling around in No Man's Sky during dinner, nice. Now that game's finally good, took him long enough. Will One Man Show be different when he comes back from that travel? Yes. Did I time travel to affect his memory? Oh my goodness, let's not get back into that. Did watch Akikon all the way through. Whoa! Look at this guy. That's a hardcore fan right there. Did you enjoy it? Was it fun? I remember finishing the first one and being like, I watched Sekirei and Makin Ki. I'm good for right now. Anyway, so in Odd Taxi, I think is the most recent show that we've had that has a Manzai comedy group. And it is usually they call them a comedian and a straight man that will stand there and talk to each other about a story that they're doing. Time traveling forward at 1.5 times speed. Exactly. I'll just talk so slow that when he gets caught up with what I am finally saying, that it's this drastic change from the 1.5 times speed to what we're actually talking about. But a straight man and a funny man in Japanese is not always what we would consider the straight man and the funny man in comedy in Western side of things. We really laugh at guys like Hard Gay, because Hard Gay is a full bondage outfit, short leather shorts, like stereotype of the most gay man you've ever seen at Pride, next to any Japanese person. So you have this crazy wacky dude and a professor of beetles, and they go hunting for beetles to find like a very valuable beetle, right? That's funny to us because we have the straight man who's just talking about the Beatles, and we have this woo crazy like stereotype of like the ultimate gay guy you've ever seen at Pride, right? In Manzai, the straight man and the comedian are both pretty straight for Western standards. So it's just two guys sitting there and talking about a story in their life. Hold on. Thought Black Summoner was okay. Well, good. Internet Historian's video about No Man's Sky is... Internet Historian's video about most things are... Love them. Love them. Formula Speak is not time travel centric. Formula Speak. I don't know this one. I think it would be boring because they didn't try to make the trio routine work. They knew they would cut away to the events, so they didn't actually need to make the beginning or ending funny. The beginning and endings aren't funny. Like, so in Odd Taxi, it's why I bring it up. There's a Manzai group and they talk and everything. Like the closest thing we have to a Manzai comedy is a Let's Play. So you get somebody like the Game Grumps and you put them together and then they're talking and they're telling stories and stuff. And sometimes they're telling stories and then there's like comedy in the story that they're bringing up and they play off each other, the back and forth. It works very well. They also have the game to play off that we can see immediately. So like it sort of shortcuts that whole thing. But Manzai is that without the game, without the show, without anything like that. It's just two people telling a story to each other about what they did. And so to start with the Manzai comedy routine and then cut to what the actual thing is that's happening and them giving their Manzai lines as they're actually doing the action is the comedy routine. The fact that it's not funny just means that it's Japanese Manzai comedy. That's really all it is. It could have been funny. It could be funny. But it's just not usually. It's just usually like, oh, I went into the store and then they didn't have my size of shoe. Oh, they didn't have your size of shoe? That's crazy. And I'm like, yeah, now I don't know what to do. Thank you very much. We've been this comedy duo. And you're like, what? I don't... what? Like, it's just not... It's like Seinfeld, but the comedy routine isn't funny because they don't wait. They don't have... they don't have comedic timing. They literally just blast back and forth with the routine, telling about the story, and then they end it, and they leave. Literally, when it got to the ending, and then they said, oh, I'm going to end it, and goodbye. Like, my wife was like, I hate how it always ends so quickly, because they did the same thing in Odd Taxi. When they would finish a routine, they're just like, and we're over, bye. And they would just get off the thing. And if you've watched any Japanese variety shows, it's exactly the same. Like, Manzai comedy does not do timing well. It just doesn't. And without timing, it's hard to make things really funny. I like the whole setup of like having a competition. I like the like manager of their thing. I think it would have been better if the whole show for this flashback was just from their perspective of the people that were doing the comedy routine. That would have made a lot more sense to me. If they had just started their comedy routine, it showed the whole story of their side of things and then ended their comedy routine. That would have made more sense. The fact that we went like people to people and had little introductions to everybody, a little bit of a like, we could have had them telling their funny story about a door, them telling their funny story about, you know, all the different stuff. So it's, we're talking about Friends. It's just not. I think if they had done, it could be executed better. And Manzai comedy in and of itself is just not funny to me. Usually, it has to be like you need really good timing or something so crazy that you're either connecting with the guy who's telling the joke because he's the funny guy and you've been in his position and you get it. Or such a wacky thing that you're like the straight guy and you're like, how is this even a thing that happened to you? That's insane. Like, that's crazy. But again, it's anime, so like crazy stuff happens all the time. So me telling a story about how I did this thing and then my Gundam like flew up and then it came back down and it didn't have a head and then I had to find like a new head for it. So I found like this little tiny bird and I put this bird on its head and then, you know, I painted it so it looked correct and then I submitted it to the competition. Like that's not something that happens in normal life. But in anime, weird stuff happens all the time. So it's also like a lot harder to do that. I don't like Rakugo. I like the act of Rakugo. Like I like Rakugo comedy. I love the Sherlock Holmes case files. Case files Shinjuku, I think it's called. Where every time Sherlock solves the mystery, he puts on a Rakugo show, because then it's the guy telling the story, and you've got that extra little bit of I'm also all the characters, and the way they use the fan and stuff to sort of indicate the characters. But the Rakugo anime, I did not like. The Rakugo anime was just kind of like, you could have more fun with people still telling stories about the stories. But the actual art of Rakugo, I enjoy. If I said differently in the past, then that would be different. Poor Burb. Burb will sit here on Rilakuma as long as Burb needs to. Don't worry about Burb. Burb's just fine. You didn't care for the ending of Kill la Kill. It was fine up until that ending. Trigger. Oh my goodness. So I also think that the trio kind of kills things. Like if you think of like the best Let's Plays on YouTube, you're gonna think of solo players who are talking with the audience and telling stories. You're gonna think of duos who are talking to each other and doing stories. You've got Super Mega, you've got the Game Grumps, you've got I don't know, somebody else who's a duo. But how many trios are really that good? Like as soon as you introduce that third person, there's a weird dynamic, like a back and forth. Like a minute ago, or I guess an hour ago, Michael and I started a back and forth about time travel. The back and forth worked well, but sometimes someone else would say something and I would talk to them. It sort of changes the dynamic of the conversation from this quick, witty back and forth to a back and forth, and now are you going to say something? Okay, and now back and forth, and you? Now we're back and forth, and, oh, it's over here. And you sort of lose something in that. And I think, like, I've never seen a real Manzai trio before. I've seen live action Manzai duos, I've seen Manzai solos. I've never seen it with a trio though. You liked Rakugo in Showa, Rakugo Shinju, and Manzai in Odd Taxi. You found them funny. I think the Manzai in Odd Taxi was a little better just because they were animals, so it was kind of like Walrus or whatever he was. No, Walrus was the main guy. Giraffe, and I forget what the other guy was. But Par, you have to watch Case Files, Kabukicho or whatever it was called, the Sherlock Holmes Rakugo show, because Sherlock Holmes doing Rakugo, and especially even in the dub, the actor has fun, but the dub and the sub both have an actor that's really having fun with the voices, so it really works well. But yeah, Showa Rakugo Shinju, it just wasn't. Maybe it's because I watched it after I watched the Case Files, so I was used to like this more comedic style. But we'll see. Did Three's Company do Manzai comedy? The show was playing on misunderstandings all the time. Manzai is less like, if the equivalent in Western things would be if there's a comedy duo on the radio talking about stories that happen to them. That is Manzai comedy. So it's either solo or duo, and in this show it's a trio, but it's specifically people talking to each other about things that happen to them so an audience who's watching can laugh. or with the radio, of course, it's just the vocalizing. It is, if you're seeing the action and the comedy, like Seinfeld in a stand-up routine is pretty close to Manzai, except with better timing for American audiences. Seinfeld the show is not, because it's actually just showing us a thing, right? It's like the conveyance of the story is what makes it Manzai. My goodness. Manly badass hero, Pew's press hard to continue, and Kyo-kun if she's still active. There is a trio. Continue. The Continue show is a trio. They are a trio that does very well. They are a trio that does very well because they highly edit things so that the timing is dead on, and the way the camera zooms in and moves and does things is dead on. Continue show works very well. Plus, they all three know each other very well, so it's a very good comedy routine. Like, Continue show does a trio very, very well, I would say. So that would be the equivalent of a trio version of all that. What's up, Jordan Cruz? How are you doing, friend? Welcome to Jordan and One Man Show. Not wrench either. Parochin, what's your favorite time travel? Still smiling from hearing about the daughter. We were talking about time travel favorite show. Don't really have one. All their advantages and disadvantages. You don't have a single favorite like time travel? That surprises me. I think a lot of anime uses the straight man routine. Like early Bleach is just Rukia and Ichigo doing it. Yeah, but then it's Manzai's not the straight man comedy man. It's the them telling each other, or one of them telling a story to the other one, and then they react to it in such a way the audience is supposed to react to it. It's a little weird. You basically like all stories with time travel, plus you haven't watched Steins Gate or Back to the Future. What? You haven't watched Back to the Future? Boom! 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 Physical relocation from future to past, time travel. Mental transitioning, not so much. So, here's the question that caused me... So, I had that definition originally. He's different. He's traveled through time. I was confronted with Tokyo Revengers. Is Tokyo Revengers time travel? I agree with Blaine. Thank you. Thank you very much. Northwest Unite. I think Tokyo Revengers is time travel, even though it's just a mental transition, because he can physically interact with the world. I think that's the difference. He's in the past now. He can't hear you. Like, dang it, no! Most anime have Skomi and Bokeh. Let's make sure I'm not talking out of my ass here. Let's pull up just straight up. We'll do wiki for Manzai. The young must be disrespected at all costs. Let me make sure there's no boobs on this Wikipedia page first, because that of course is a thing. But okay, looks good. We're talking about favorite time travel stuff, then Michael brought up AOT, and we all had a discussion on the timey-wimey stuff in it. I like you just blow right past the fact that I was trying not to, quote-unquote, spoil it for a while, and then we just said, screw it. Alrighty, I'll do this way. Manzai is a traditional style of comedy in Japanese culture comparable to a double act or stand-up comedy. Manzai usually involves two performers, Manzaishi, a straight man, the Skomi, and a funny man, the Bokeh, trading jokes at great speed. Most of the jokes revolve around mutual misunderstandings, double talk, puns, and other verbal gags. So another reason why it's hard for us to really think it's funny in English is because we're talking about puns and double, like, innuendo from another language. So where we would have an innuendo with words, it may not mean the same thing over there. Like, what, kaze Wind and Family have the same kanji. I forget. There's a bunch of funny puns just based on kanji alone, and how you read the kanji that can come up. Kawa. Kawa. The kanji for kawa and kawa also, it means skin or river. So someone who's named like Ishikawa could be something skin or something river, right? Like first river, first skin, right? It's a very different meaning based on how you read it. So like you can have some fun with puns in another language that way. All you watch is anime and Soviet movies. Haven't watched or read louder Star Wars or Harry Potter either. Lol. Nice. This the Soviet. I know they have that really fun like red space weird one with like the spaceship, and it looks like the whole thing was filmed on Mars. It's crazy. I watched it in a Japanese brewery. It's kind of a show. Loader is good. You must watch Back to the Future. The ending of Quantum Leap sucked the largest balls in the universe. Prodigy, don't worry about what Blaine's saying. Have you not watched? He hasn't seen Steins Gate. It's true. I also haven't watched Hunter x Hunter, so I'll get on it someday. You did have to dip out for a bit. Did you ever talk about how much you love Call of the Night? I talked about how much I love the setups for it so far. I love the waifu design. I love the fact that Toga cosplayers can reuse their wigs and teeth. I love the fact that he has a problem that he wants to fix, and she has like methods of helping him fix it by showing him how exciting things can be, and like the fact that they can work together towards a goal, and like there's hints to her having a goal and having problems, and I think that we could move towards a problem and a solution there. So like we've got good action, good rising and falling action that I can see coming in the show. So I'm hesitant to say it's going to be the best romance of the season, just because I haven't seen everything yet of the season, but it's definitely fantastic. The whole concept of Sam being in another person's body got seriously messed up by the perception versus what he received from that body's senses. They never resolved that to my satisfaction. Oh goodness. Welcome. Geminire. Oh my goodness. There's so many people making me promise them to watch Marvel and Star Wars too. Watch anime instead. You could watch the anime versions of the Marvel universe. There's a bunch of like 09 anime for that was shipped off once they made like Iron Man and stuff. Those are all pretty good. The Doctor Strange animation's pretty good. I don't think you have to watch any of it though. Am I all caught up on My Hero? Is there new My Hero this season? Because if yes, then no. But if no, then yes. I haven't seen any spring My Hero. Call of the Night equals meh. They don't do a lot in this episode. They characterize a ton in this first episode of Call of the Night. And with their characterization, I think you've been given a good platform. And based on a lot of shows that I've watched that are, some of the most boring first episodes I've ever seen, but as soon as they get out of the way, sort of that character motivation, turn into some of the most fun shows I've ever seen. I think it's got promise. And some of the manga scenes that I've seen posted around are pretty funny. And we haven't even gotten to some of the vampire girls. I'll say problems, but they're funny little quirks, I guess, would be a nicer way to say it. I think the choice of him being a vampire staying human will be a great thread across the show. Yes, I definitely think it is. One of those grass is greener kind of things. Will he still want it as he moves forward? The bigger question is, can someone who doesn't feel lovey-dovey, an asexual person, we would call them, can they develop feelings strong enough that because in this universe you have to love the vampire in order to turn into a vampire when you get bit. But he has been proven to be bad at loving because he didn't love the big titty schoolgirl. She was cute and sweet and gave him a letter, and he's like, I'm sorry, I don't understand dating and stuff. And she cried and ran away, and it was like, no, don't cry and run away. He's just an idiot. It's okay. You really want to finish SG and Death Note. You're just always out and about recently. Remember the guy who goes through walls and stuff? I'm reading My Hero Vigilantes, and it's like, because the main character is slowly developing his shitty quirk, it is something great like him. Nice. Skip most of Marvel. Paro-chan, what do those runes mean? What is this? Your hammer and sickle runes. Copy. No, it's not Irish. Why would you translate it to Irish? Translate it to English. Why would I ever have this set to Irish? Oh. How nice. How sweet of you. I like okay. Let's get this off the screen. We're done talking about Manzai. It's associated with Osaka. It's built on puns, which makes it hard to be funny, unless the translators are really good at making it funny. Irish shouldn't count as a real language. Have you tried to speak to someone from Ireland? My Hero spoilers, Froppy's a Russian spy. I knew it. We all knew the globalists were turning the frogs gay, but when they turned that frog gay, they really did a number on it. And then when it got picked up off the coast of the Caspian Sea, it really Vladimir Putin really put a number on it and got her all set up into being that ultimate spy against the Japanese, because we all know that the Japanese are the most based people on the planet. In order to get the real intel, you gotta have someone who's really good with their tongue, if you know what I mean. So Froppy, definitely Russian spy number one right there. Definitely gonna have to agree with that one. Thank you for pointing out just the truth here. Only truth here all the time in the escape corner, because we are truly escaping from all these interdimensional invaders. Like Mina. These people, they go and they drink their opiates and their DMTs, and they have an out of body experience, and what they're really having is a conversation with Mina. She's using her interdimensional powers to control the world. I thought you would use Google Translate. It says nice to meet you. That's exactly what I said. That's what I read. I mean, I read it. I figured I'd make everybody else do the same amount of work I had to do. Gotta go again. RID class. Enjoy having to leave again because Zez baby. Oh my goodness. Ginger logic. Google is being hairphobic. Oh, the Irish. No, they're trying to make them have souls again. That's the problem. The Thing is great. The best part about The Thing is that they remade The Thing, but when they remade The Thing, they remade a sequel to The Thing, and it was great. I freaking loved The Thing and the follow-up. Very, very good. Very, very good. You haven't seen it. You should definitely watch it. Watch the first one. Watch them both if you like the first one, but just watch The Thing, because it's referenced in so many things. Literally things like Parasite even references The Thing. Parasite the Maxim. It's just such a common series that it really did become like this crazy just everywhere thing. Yeah, we needed to get a sponsor, sort of an ambassador for super male vitality, so you can have become as masculine as all of this that you see here, these giant masculine shoulders. So we reached out to All Might, and we got him on our side. He started taking the supplements. You watch, you see him go from some quirkless little wimp to a man who can punch a state. out of existence. But you know, you can really see when he comes face to face with the vegan retort, as I call him, how it really took it out of him. You know, we had COVID shutting down our international supply, so we weren't able to get him the pills that he needed to keep his vitality up. And once you don't have that super male vitality, you see how he just sort of shrinks down into the waif that he used to be. And you know, he's still got a little bit left, so he's trying to keep it going. But I think he might be out of pills now, so he's probably back down to the little tiny waif man that he used to be. So we need to get our supply lines in order. But you know, the globalists are trying to keep us from getting the you know, the medication to the people who really need it. The real medication. If you know, we can't talk about that though. We can't talk about that though here on YouTube. So we'll have to save that for my you know, a local stream where we can really talk more one-on-one about things. All might actually be gay. I don't blame My Hero fans for claiming every character is gay after reading the manga. Nice. The Time Machine movies are time travel. Enter vehicle, travel to other point in time, get out of vehicle, physical transportation. Nice. You're excited to watch it. Good. It's one of those things. I used to watch The Simpsons all the time. Like when we would have dinner as a family, we would have The Simpsons and we would watch it. And it would reference things. And then as it referenced things, my parents would be like, oh, you haven't seen the original. Let's watch the original. So we'd go back and watch these originals. And so, of course, Simpsons references everything back then. So it was really good at getting us a good media education by just literally starting from this one branch and sort of going off anytime we needed to see something. Or read the book. Some people's escape. Stalker. I only really know the game. I think my dad might have read the book, but that's fine. I'm not gay. I'm not gay, but you're pretty sexy, Blaine. You know, I might, you know, I'm, when I turn over and I see Mr. Salty Cracker and I laying there in bed, I think, you know what? If instead of being in this bed, I could be over in the escape corner, if you know what I mean. And then I think, hey, you know what? Hey, maybe the frogs have a point. Maybe I had a little too much of the Flint water, but, you know, sometimes salty doesn't quite do it for me at night. Reading, that's pretty un-American, brother. Oh my goodness, so funny. How was I going? I had something else. Oh, I know. Does everybody remember my friend? Does everybody remember Tequila Gundam? And the best part of our friend Tequila Gundam is that he has a hat, and his hat is like a propeller, and his propeller allows him to like go through the water. Everybody remembers Tequila Gundam from G Fighter Gundam. And I was like, you know what we need? We need a margarita maker that looks like a Tequila Gundam. And they don't even have a gunpla of Tequila Gundam yet, right? But we need a margarita maker that looks like Tequila Gundam. And a friend of mine had a Margaritaville margarita maker. So I have a margarita maker. And it kind of has a bit of a sombrero shape here. So I have a 3D printer. And I have some skills with 3D modeling. So I'm going to make this so that this whole dang thing is Tequila Gundam's head. I want it to be just a giant Gundam head that you have to like open the mouth or open the face, and then like you can pull out your margaritas from his head. And I might see if once I get some initial design work done, if they can like pull the margaritas out of his chest, so that the top will be his head. But we'll find out what I can pull off once I've done some photos and mock-ups of this. But I have the base for Tequila Gundam's margarita maker. I believe I had a friend. They were like, "Do you want a Margaritaville?" And I was like, "Sure." Thing's freaking huge. By the time I'm done, it's gonna be like the size of an actual Gundam. Oh, it's gonna be great. This summer, Tequila Gundam is going to Margaritaville. You haven't watched all of Attack on Titan, so you can't speculate about the role time travel plays within it. It's a very Deus Ex Machina role. I will say that. Aharen-san manga and anime also had all kinds of references. Space Odyssey 2001, Leon the Killer, Passenger, Kill Bill. Only realized because of the comments. Good that you figured it out. See, back in the day, you would have had little like translator notes that said, this is a reference to Kill Bill, you know, and that kind of stuff. But now we have to wait for the comments. Even worse than that, you live in a bad city. You're the adjacent everyone talks about. Wait, Michael, don't you live in California too? Good luck. Thank you. I'm gonna start out on my own. I'll probably like paper craft something just so I can get like a feel for it and see how much plastic it's gonna take. And then I may have to outsource some of the 3D modeling just because it's a lot of work and I don't necessarily want to do all that work. But we'll see. We're gonna make this happen. I want to have a Tequila Gundam margarita maker, and I want to have it soon. Zax, you followed Steven Ransom here. Congratulations. I hope you didn't get crop dusted too hard. You got to be careful following other people. You never know. I was at the Richmond night market, and we're like walking to the front, and you just got that guy in front of you, just unabashedly, still talking with the like his wife and daughter, whoever he's talking to, just. We're behind him, like, did he just kick a rock? Was that real? Did that happen? Are we? What? Oh my goodness. Glad you followed him though. Glad you followed him. Thank you much. Michael is so mean. Michael is so mean. You recently watched Fight Club, so you're on your way to becoming a true normie or American. Yes, hello, fellow Americans. Sorry. Hello, fellow Americans. I have watched Fight Club. Have you also watched Fight Club? It's a good book, yes? I actually read the book before I watched the movie, believe it or not. I have my issues with the way the movie ends, compared to the way the book ends. I think they're both interesting. I think it was a time when a lot of endings were just being twisted to see how it could change. Like we had Watchmen. Watchmen had a huge change to the way it ended. It sort of changed the motivations of most of the characters, and it was like, wait a minute, I don't know if this would be cool anymore. But Fight Club, I think Fight Club still works. I think the movie still works, even though I think the ending of the book was better. It is hard to do. Zax is a Canadian. I was just there on Sunday. We went to the Richmond night market in little Hong Kong. I call it, because Richmond is basically Hong Kong. Every time I go, we have dim sum and then just tons of Chinese food. If you watch The Godfather, then you be able to pretend the references. You're worn out pretending to understand the Star Wars and Lord of the Ring references already. If you want to understand the Star Wars references, just watch the Family Guy, the blue something that is the Family Guy Star Wars episodes. They basically hit all the high points for you if you don't want to actually watch the originals. Originals are okay, like it's a good movie and all, but like it, you know, it's old. It definitely doesn't, like, it's good. It's good. It's just not like life-changing. Shifting up to 1.75 speed to get through the AOT talk. You might want to go up to 2 times speed. There's a couple slow moments back there that you might want to get through. You are an American if you haven't seen every Steven Stallone movie. Yes, everyone. Steven Stallone, the bastard offspring of Steven Seagal and Sylvester Stallone. He stars in Muscle Man, chef on the boat. That movie, Muscle Man Chef on the boat. Steven Stallone does. Very, very interesting dude. I don't know if you meant Steven Seagal or Sylvester Stallone. I mean, either would work. You know, I definitely prefer Sylvester Stallone movies, but I have a good laugh at Steven Seagal movies, so pick your poison, I guess. You need to watch Rocky 4. Your dad loves that movie. Has some inspiring backstory. Yeah, so it's the lead actor and writer. He wrote that movie, Sylvester Stallone did, and said, I will sell you this movie if I get to be Rocky. I'm Rocky. I'm literally Rocky. I wrote this movie for me. And he took forever to find somebody to actually sell it to who would do it. He had to sell his dog to pay his bills. It's this whole story in his book. And then once he got his first check from the movie, from Rocky, he then went back to that grocery store where he sold his dog and found the guy and bought his dog. So he sold his dog for like $500 or something like that, or maybe it was like $100. I don't even remember. But he sold his dog for like nothing, but then had to go back and like bought his dog for like 10 times that amount to get him back. So it's a very, very, very fun story outside of the movie. First Blood is amazing. First Blood's a great movie. Great movie. Blue Harvest, thank you for coming in to know the name of the thing that I was trying to reference with the Family Guy. Because Blue Harvest was like the secret name or something of the script for Star Wars, if I remember. The barriers for entry keep getting higher. They're not getting higher. Sylvester Stallone is a very short man. They're just getting wider and buffer. That's all. That's the only barrier for entry. You are very Canadian. Okay, good. Welcome to at least 3 people that will pop in and out of chat from time to time. It's really the only barrier. You watched a Quentin Tarantino movie? Nice. You and me both. Yep. There's another one of you. You've already altered the deal. Pray I don't alter it again. You put on goggles, suddenly you hear someone shout behind you, you hear a fraction of a second's worth of the sound crunching bones before you die. Time travel. Wow, One Man Show really is deep in the past right now. Oh my goodness. So anyone who doesn't understand, you're clearly getting messages from the future. Oh my goodness. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. More AOT, blah, blah, blah. Trying to learn without listening too much focused. First Blood Part 1 has so much cultural significance. The context is crazy. That is true. I think First Blood is hard to understand if somebody doesn't tell you about what the return from Vietnam was like. It really, you watch it and you're just like, it's like watching an anime where there's like an evil government and you're like, wow, why are they so evil? Why does everybody hate this guy? Like, it's just so, why would they be so mean? Why would they do that? That doesn't make any sense. Like, it's hard to understand if you don't know the context. Definitely. You want to apologize or should I? Cheers. Compi. Oh, it's been a bit. Compi. Welcome, Zach. Give me a pass. I've listened to all the songs in Hamilton. Please. Hamilton? All right. I forever have been a huge fan of rap music. Huge fan. Huge fan. And when everyone was like, Hamilton's amazing, it's like a rap musical. Hamilton's amazing, it's a rap musical. Oh, this is amazing, blah, 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 blah. I was expecting some lyrical fidelity along the lines of, like, you've got a team of people who are going to write songs and lyrics. Or even if it's one person who writes it, they then have to like bounce it off of other people who can then help them like make it better, right? This isn't like a static thing. We're not just making a song, recording a song, and like kicking it out there and seeing what happens. You can take some time to make it really great. I was expecting, like, Eminem style midline rhymes, the center line rhymes, the falling rhymes. I was expecting a lot more. Just I don't need. Tequila Gundam doesn't need to hear this. Get out of here, Tequila Gundam. I was expecting a lot better lyrical craftsmanship. It's good, but I think I was overhyped on it. I think the overhyping really made it end up being just not great. But it's a fun story. It's a very fun story. AOT, blah, blah, blah. Aaron, gracious memory, blah, 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 blah. Whenever people saw Dawn of the Witch, I think of say Dawn of the Witch. I think Yona of the Dawn. Yeah, Yona of the Dawn of the Witch. Yeah, that would be a fun show for sure. Pass granted, I watch My Fair Lady and cry. No, you don't. Nobody watches My Fair Lady and cries. That show's a bajillion years old. They didn't know how to act back then. Oh, honestly, it's the cinematography. There are some really good performances from back in the day, but the way that shots were framed back then is very, let me show you how everything is to be seen, and not so much the way the feel works. Like there was a really funky time in movie and craftsmanship where shows got very funky with their angles and a bunch of stuff. Like in the mid 80s, stuff got very weird, and that's a little too much. But like there is something to be said about some different angles, a little bit more unsettling camera work, and again, technology at the time, really hard to do stuff like that. It was a while before they even had tracking shots. Like Citizen Kane was crazy because they had like not every studio right next to each other, right? Like you could see the ceiling when they were doing it. Like there was crazy things that happened in that. But it just makes it so that it's harder for me to connect with what they're emoting. Which is weird because there's some old stuff that I really, really like. Like I really love Vincent Price. House on Haunted Hill is one of my favorite murder mystery shows of all time. Oh my goodness. Is that the previous show you never watched it? Attack on Titan and Venom? Wow, it's funny to think about where we were like an hour and a half ago. Bring him back. We have to time travel one man show to the present so we can know what he thinks. You do. Look at all those tears. America Jean Ninata. It's the Ego wakarimasen. Ego wakarimasen. America Jean Boosh. What is that? I love that rapper. Let's pull him up. Wakari Maichi or Mayachi. Miyachi, I guess you should say. He has a song called Wakarimasen. It's one of my all-time favorite Japanese rap songs. Wakarimasen. Ego wakarimasen. Ego wakarimasen. Honto America Jin. I turn that shit into yen. It's so good. So good. Gotta hit the hay. Have a good night, all. You have a wonderful evening, pop culture. Enjoy sleep. Enjoy time with your eyes closed that allow you to rest. Watch Rambo First Blood Part 1. You do still need to watch that. You'll watch Gone with the Wind and call it a day for tonight. What? Don't watch Gone with the Wind. All you have to... Okay, don't watch Gone with the Wind. Watch Carol Burnett Gone with the Wind. Carol Burnett does a Gone with the Wind show in her little stand-up variety series that is hilarious. Hilarious. You need to watch that instead. Vincent Price, you love Edgar Allan Poe movies he was in. Definitely. I freaking love Vincent Price. He's such a good actor. He did the thing your friends did. Chronically extroverted, you don't like watching movies alone. But as a closeted otaku, I never minded watching anime alone. Interesting. I think watching anime alone, depending on how old you are and how you got anime, was just because you're on a computer and you had to download it. At least for me, I was on a computer, I had to download it from some weird website or a torrent, and so it was like I couldn't go watch it with friends. I'd have to have other people over. We'd all have to cram around my like 13-inch monitor or something. You know, like it wasn't really convenient for watching with friends. Or like, maybe it was 17-inch because it was like funky. Oh well. And so anime, if you wanted to watch it, if you wanted to be a part of the conversation, you'd have to watch it on your own and then become a part of the conversation later. So that's my thoughts there. You watch Soviet stuff with your family so much simpler. Cheeky breaky. You hit the hey, donk and night, Blaine leading the young astray. Astray Gundam? I have that. Oh. You've taken notes and you'll be reporting back. This is Gundam Astray. Or Astray Gundam. He has a samurai sword and red V. That's how you know it's Gundam Astray, because of his sword. It's actually a sword that you can pull out of his sheath. It's pretty cool. Congratulations, you now know Gundam Astray. That's where I'm leading them. I'm leading them to Astray. Soundgarden? They brought it up in chat. You missed it. Someone started... I am a chronic singer. I get it from my mom. It's really annoying. I didn't know that this would be a thing that happens to me. But like my mom, if she hears a word, will just start singing a song that goes along with that word. For me, if I see lyrics, I just start singing the lyrics. It's just something that happens to me. But the Attack on Titan versus Berserk makes sense. If Berserk didn't suck, if the 3D Berserk didn't turn people off because the weird 3D animation looked funky, people would have watched that instead and would have thought that it was... You had to fish for anime and watch on your computer, but also people had weird ideas about anime, so you couldn't be in public watching it as a new otaku. Yeah, we were shunned. Start anime alone, then watch it with the boys. Depends on the show. Sometimes you can watch a show with the boys, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you can't watch a show without the boys. Then what are you supposed to do? That's my fault. It is your fault. Oh my goodness. I hope we get to see more of Osaka in Teppen. Everyone around you seemed to figure out you were an otaku. No idea why. Could it be the fact that you said otaku things? Or you drew anime people? Or you had a sticker? Or a keychain? Did you go to Hot Topic? Did you ever wear a black skirt with thigh highs? That might tee people off. With, like Mary Jane's. You just skipped, did I see that? Yeah, I got caught reading chat. Just... you know, episode 2 won't air because of the assassination the other day. I have heard that. However, we do have episode 3 that will air. So we'll find out. Hold on, let me look. Let me look. Osaka this, Osaka that. I love Osaka. Get its mouth out your name. Get its name out your mouth. Get your mouth out its name. I don't know. I'm not a fucking cuck, so it's hard to know how to say those kind of things. Yeah, that was just you. I love you like a love song, baby. Don't do that. You keep hitting repeat. No. If it's not a good song, I can stop singing it before I finish reading the lyrics, but it catches me. all of a sudden two characters are gonna be dating and you'll have no idea why. Are they not already just assuming that each triplet is a throuple? Is that not already the thing? But it will be weird because we got episode 3 is still slated to air, so we'll find out. I bless the rains down in Africa. Oh, so good. You were there for that. You did draw anime people, but only wore anime style clothes in the comfort of your room. Problem is, you buy that one thing that's anime style, you show up to school with 2 belts. Suddenly everybody knows that you play Yu-Gi-Oh! Ask me how I know. I wore 2 belts, sometimes 3. Oh my goodness. Akikon was too compressed. Sekirei was better. Thank you. I'm not saying that Akikon's bad because I haven't watched the whole thing, but I would rather watch Sekirei. Imagine Teppen has actual character development in it. You're just checking whether the lyrics really run true. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. How nostalgic? Oh, are you being nostalgic for Akikon or Sekirei? Is it Kiss the Can or is it Titty Pokemon? Which one's your nostalgia? No, I won't do it. Formula speak is me going on about formula racing. Oh, okay. That's what you meant. That's what you meant. Okay. Well, it was a good race this weekend. I will survive. It's just playing in my head now. It's just constantly, for as long as I'm alive, I will survive. Oh, I can't stop it. You're nostalgic for Sekirei. When Abe was shot, you were there. Yep, there. Go. The proof right there. Like I was like, damn, that's a cool gun. Have you seen the other guns? The guy has like a 7-barrel cell phone gun. It's crazy. Got some crazy shit going on with that. It's the whole like Thanos, like I'll do it myself. Like it's kind of insane what that guy was up to. Copyright, be careful. Oh no, they're gonna get me the way they got Smooth McGroove. The MC nosebleeds from episode 1 and beyond were amazing, of course. It's wonderful to be able to beam thoughts into another person's brain. Now you all know my secret. You ever want to derail the show? We now have Evangelion talk, song lyrics, time travel. We're just building on a list of things that make me not talk specifically about anime while talking about anime and escapism, because whatever the title of your channel is can't be what your channel actually does every day, because that would be too on the nose. The algorithm would know what to do. We have to keep the algorithm guessing, because otherwise it'll figure out what it needs to do and be helpful. If we keep it guessing, we keep saying things and talking about things that aren't even close to all this. Pointless arguments might just be its own category. Blaine's Jukebox Corner. Can we do I can't do karaoke on YouTube. We probably get content ID'd. Maybe does Twitch allow karaoke and stuff? That might be kind of fun. Oh, see that I'm only familiar with the first one, that first lyric. So that one, you just have like a solid loop of just ra ra Rasputin, ra ra Rasputin. And that's all that goes on in my head. It's like a little tiny record that's just spinning with one little line on it. Now you're just gonna be testing my like lyrical knowledge. You're gonna go. And the first like 30 words of this song is hey. There was a hey. song was super popular in the USSR. Yeah, I bet. You go back in time and spank yourself. Is it gay? I should check out Jedi Bill 797 for some crazy karaoke. Karaoke shouldn't immediately be hit, but you will get claimed, I believe. You translated it for some of your friends. Such a happy memory. Nice. Okay. Past self's monkey. Is it gay? I think in order for it to be gay, you have to be attracted to your past self. So are you spanking your past self's monkey while and is your past self thinking about your future self? Then yes. Or is your current self getting off on it? Then yes. But if not, then no. Then it's just a bro. It's just a future bro job. That's all. Wouldn't be immediately be claimed. Well, I got nothing to claim. It would just like block the they'd block it from distribution, so the entire show would like not be visible. So maybe we'll do like a separate show and then pipe it in or something. Maybe we'll do it on locals. Karaoke streams gonna be taken down after the end. I mean, I've got a Twitch. Like, if Twitch is okay with it, we could see how many people will actually migrate to Twitch, and then we can do a karaoke stream. That might be fun. You never watch. Oh, great! You're back on Seinfeld. Would you catch up? I thought you were watching it 2 times speed already. Time Traveler's Wife deals with this in the book. Okay. 2 conversing versus 3 is the difference between flow and flow through a fan. See, that one is, to me, I hear what is my I hear okay, every time I hear the start to that song. I love that song. Parochin. What's up, Brandon? How are you doing? I love that song. One of my favorites. But every time I hear it, I hear the lyrics to the Whoville songs. Da fu do re, da fu do re. Every time. Shonen yo shinwa ni narare. You don't have a single favorite time travel show. Well, now I have to read the book. Okay, great. Hello. We got all the hellos coming in. Hello. Maybe the past memory hasn't caught up with you yet. Hello. I said that before. Dang it. Need to pick back up my anime watching. Been slacking a bit. Same. I have only watched, I think, 5 things for this season. I've watched like 3 or 4 episodes of Bastard, the Idol, Phantom Idol show, which looks like fun, the Yurei Deco, which looks like an interesting but potentially really on the nose take about social media, the Call of the Night, which is shaping up to be potentially really good, and then Teppen, the comedian one. Ava Trigger. Habits is the best of us. You also keep mixing stuff up with songs you heard a long time ago. Yapapa does Sasanai? What the heck are you singing? You're at 20 plus. Get wrecked playing. 20 plus what? What? Oh, on Bastard. Okay, you're on episode 4 of Bastard. Yeah. No, you're. I think Serranos is now the you're the delegate for shows. We'll bring you in to talk about shows from now on because the rest of this show is now just me arguing with chat. Yurei Deco is bad, but you like how it looks. Yurei Deco is boring in a very potentially interesting world that is just so on the nose. I had an entire thought the other stream when I was talking about it, about how it's just going to be so navel gazy on the nose. Like the social landscape is bad because it's not showing you the reality of life. But the reality of life is connecting with other people. So the social landscape is real, you know, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know if this is going to be good. But it could be. But it looks cool enough for me to give it a shot. Best time travel is Bonds Beyond Time. All you need is card games and motorcycles. You need to binge Overlord. True. True. You've watched 20 plus shows. You check out your yes, I did see your tier list. I know you've seen a ton of shows. I just wasn't sure exactly what 20 plus you were talking about. I've been busy. I went to Canada. What do you want? Freaking internet up there sucked. It was like, oh, you're dead, and I didn't have like a VPN on my phone or anything, so I couldn't like actually watch anything. It's crazy and annoying. Watching Vinland Saga, yes, very good. Haven't even started Overlord yet, but you have gathered it. Your tier list had some bad takes. Did it, Michael? Did it, or did you have some bad takes? Still finishing Love After World Domination. Oh my gosh, my friend. My sister started watching Love After World Domination. I was like, it is amazing, and you will love the way it ends. And the second she watched that final episode with all the things that go into it, she texted me immediately that she was just crying with how great it was. It was amazing. It was freaking amazing. Still a little twitchy after Akikon. You feel like you understand exactly what Yuri Deko is trying to say, and you don't like the character, so you're just skipping it. Yeah, you're like, can we get to the interesting part? Because like everything you've set up, I know. Are Zoomers this dumb that you're trying to like set everything up? Like you could have literally done that intro about the giant with the 100 eyes, and then cut to welcome to this world, and then been boom. Like let's see the real world. Let's get into it, baby. But we'll find out. Here, watch it, if only for critically bored reasons. Chef Kiss on Vinland. He had bad opinion. Oh. I think you've got bad opinions, Michael. I think you have bad opinions. Laud ending was very tee or tee-hee. I don't know what you meant, but tee. The whole show's pretty tee, if you know what I mean. Glad I enjoyed it. I freaking loved that show, and I'm hoping Call of the Night. We've got Guy that has a goal, but can't achieve his goal yet. Who's going to work with somebody of the opposite sex because that's who he wants to, but he doesn't actually like them. He's got to learn to like them. He's got to get into it. He's got to figure out what all this means. And I love that idea of having this goal that you have to conquer that is like conquering something that's like base within you, like a problem that you have genetically, practically, that you're like, I need to get over this. I need to figure this out, and I need to move forward with it. It's just very, very excited for that. Very excited for that. Did your mention of Vivi start the whole time travel thing? Maybe? I think so. Yeah, I think you did. You did this! You did this! I mean, I said, like, what's all y'all favorites time travel? And Michael was like, this is my favorite time travel. And it's like not even time travel according to me. But he's like, oh, you my time travel. My life, my choice, my truth. Like every show this season is pretty straightforward, nothing too shocking. That's true. It's a very, very straightforward season. My stepmom's daughter is my ex, kind of dumb to me. She looks like Sayu from Higehiro, the I shaved and picked up a high school girl. Every time someone posts a picture from my stepmom's daughter as my ex, I laugh because I think it's Sayu for like a whole minute. I'm like, oh, there's a new one? Oh, no, never mind. I... kind of dumb to you. Is it dumb or is it oh, like what would you say? Is it dumb or is it trashy? Because if it's just trashy and fun, I'm down for it. But if it's dumb, then I don't know, probably not. Slang for wholesome. TT is slang. What? I mean, I guess boobies are wholesome because they feed babies, but like that's a weird one. Executioner way of life because of that. Engage kiss isn't a dive? No! Did they stop animating the kiss? Did they stop getting the juicy strands between the lips? Is that did they forget what brought them people? Did you forget what brought them people? Calling him a stupid geek. Yes, you did. You made it very stupid Greek. VTuber slang. Okay. That makes sense. You're trying to finish Pat Labor? Goodness. You've got some catching up to do, friend. Could be other communities that use it, but I know it's used commonly there. We need to get an 80s, 90s, and 2Ks list to put together. We can do that. 80s. We could probably do 80s in about 10 minutes. When you look at the 2010s to 2019s that I did, we're talking hundreds of episodes. Like, the amount of shows I watched from 2010 to 2019 is like double what came out in the 80s. You know, it's crazy how few shows came out back then. On the fence about Licorice Recoil. Not sure if you're going to stick with that one or not. I intend to start that one tomorrow. I really hope it's good because it really has a fun premise. I love that idea of having the like the do-all for hire kind of club or community or shop or the detectives agency, but really they'll do anything. I love those kind of shows, so I'm really hoping they get the character balance right so that they can have a lot of fun with those shows. Just got the first volume of One Punch and Chainsaw. Nice. Those are both very good. Sinohara AV98 Ingram. My favorite part is that they just kind of throw in like gun names in all of the mech titles. In Pat Labor, it's like everybody thinks of Ingram, they think of the Uzi design. It's like, oh, I want an Ingram. Lucifer and Biscuit Hammer. Okay, good. I was worried that the world was going upside down and that weird shows with weird descriptions would end up being like the best show of the season. Kind of like Couple of Cuckoos has like just a really weird description in their Annie list, but it ends up being like a really fun, good show. But it reads so terribly. I can't stand it. Can't stand it. It has a weird ass name. Which one are you talking about? Biscuit Hammer? No, don't bother with Lucifer and Biscuit Hammer. It's probably on High Dive. No, you didn't miss a chunk of Udawade Umono. That's just how that series goes. I remember watching the 2010s Udawade Umono anime and being like, what world did I get dumped in? Plus, it's like a little slow, and then it kind of ramps up, and then it takes off into its own story. It takes like 6 episodes to get to something interesting in the first one, so I'm expecting the same thing with this one. Licorice Recoil did surprise you, Michael. Well, you know, you're young, so you're easily surprised. You got to get old and foxy wise like, and then you'll be fine. Freaking love Pat Labor. Big fan of Licorice. A big agree on Biscuit Hammer. You didn't like Engaged Kiss. Okay, but everybody loves the kiss scene, right? Like, that's a thing. Biscuit stood alone in its terribleness for you this season. Is it worst of the season, you think? Are we looking at another back arm? What is that? Back arrow? Or is it another back arrow? Did I enjoy Oregairu? Kamisama no Mimosho. I need to look at this one. This one may have an English name that I know because I don't recognize it. Heaven's Memo Pad. Huh. That one I haven't seen. Hyoka I do like. Nanana's Treasure I never did see. Did I see Hitsugi no Chaika? Coffin Princess, I'm pretty sure I saw, but I don't remember enjoying it. I just remember like starting it because someone told me to watch it, which means I probably didn't like it that much, but I don't remember it enough to be like, it was stupid. Biscuit Hammer's animation is horrible. The main character is plain unlikable. It's Back Arrow! It's Back Arrow! The return of Back Arrow, the re-Back Arrow. Bus Cut is on Crunchy. Dropkick on My Devil, also kind of dumb to you, not liking it a whole lot. Dropkick on My Devil, it's like season 3, isn't it? It's kind of crazy how much that show is going. Not for me though. I watched the first season and it was just like, man, not to me. I feel like those animes have a detective club that are actually do-alls. Oh, interesting. I'll have to go back to those. You've about finished a couple of Cuckoos. Well, until we get the next 12 episodes that are scheduled. Hell, it's your bedtime. Alrighty, well, have a good bedtime. Looking forward to more family-friendly anime, and we will enjoy time with you in the future, I'm sure. X-arm, no, back arm. X-arm is different. Back arrow. That's why I keep saying back arm. It's Back Arrow. Prima Doll is not bad, but not yet good. I like the idea of it. Now it depends on what they do with it. It's kind of like watching the first episode of any of the Girls Are Guns category of shows or Girls Are Ships category of shows. You're like, you know, they're setting up a good premise here, but let's see what they do with it. What's the one that's like based on a video game where all the girls are dolls that are guns? And they fight like proxy wars and stuff. That one, like the first episode, it's like, this could be interesting, but then it just kind of like turns into the game, and you're like, ugh. It literally is like, welcome, Commander. You must now pick your team that is going to go into the next battle. And you're like, man, if I played the game, this is just all the cutscenes from the game. But wasn't that crazy, if I mean anything? Remember R. Kelly's Trapped in a Closet? You remember? I think you're thinking of South Park. I'm trapped in the closet. It's pretty big in here. And then I pull out my gun. Take care. Have a good night. All right, Brandon. See you later. One-man show. Interesting review. I like these one-man show reviews. They're kind of fun. It's like getting Serrano's. We should get like a weekly Serrano's tier update. Biscuit Hammer might not be quite as bad as X-Arm, but even though I have extreme hearts, an F Biscuit is easily worse. What's lower than F? Do you actually go to G? Said something funny about Extreme Heart. Pretty Derby without horse girls. That's right. I remember that. Heaven's Notepad is literally known for being underrated. Okay. I'll have to check that one out. Horse girls. Gross. Gross. You're gonna end up dead in Enumclaw if you have thoughts like that. Alex Jones on crack too. I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. If Prima Doll is like Girls Are Boats, I think I'll love it. You loved Concole. Good. It's a good one. Pop culture loves Concole. He loves the Girls Are Boats genre. And I keep telling him to watch Arpeggio of Blue Steel. I think that's my favorite Girls Are Boats because they are just the AI that controls the boat. And that works really well, I think, in that whole genre. Commander, you need to insert your credit card number. Unbreakable Machine Doll or Hell Girl. Both, I guess. We made a whole ass soap opera called Trapped in the Closet. It was the greatest thing you ever made. It's all on YouTube. Really? Wait. I don't know this actually. It's a whole thing. You put Extreme Hearts as F because pretty looking tier list. Sacrifices must be made. Oh my goodness, 2005, 2007, 2012. Jeez, Lou, what is all this? Fighting for his life, man. Oh, You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. The saddest anime you guys have ever watched. Whoo. The saddest anime I've ever watched might be okay. Here are two categories. The saddest anime that like actually made me feel sad would be Gurren Lagann. Gurren Lagann made me feel really sad. And before that, it would probably be Grave of the Fireflies. That one hit me different though, and I'll explain it in a minute. So saddest anime I've ever seen would have to be Gurren Lagann, as far as like making me feel sad. Saddest anime, maybe objectively, from like makes everyone sad, would either be To Your Eternity or Grave of the Fireflies. One of the two. Both of those are very, very good. Your sad switch is broken, hardly ever flips. You can feel bad. I definitely like. This is gonna sound like pompous and manly, but like I really have trouble crying over almost anything at this point. I was very young. I lost my grandfather and my cat pretty close to each other, and then my uncle. So I had like a lot of loss in my family very quickly. And I know there was a cat in there, but like I had that cat, like I picked that cat when I was a baby, like a child. I picked that cat, and then I lost my grandpa, who I loved, and then I lost my cat like right after, and then I lost my uncle shortly after that, and it was just a whole tier of things, as well as like switching schools. Like it was a very, very emotionally turbulent time, and it was like an emotional workout where like going through that, I now understand things that are sad, and things that are sad like make me feel bad, but they don't make me like cry. It's a very like, man, that's sad, what are we going to do about it now? What's next? What are we going to do? So I have a very like, let's move on mentality to it, because I had a very, very sad time in my life. It's, you know, I feel sad watching Gurren Lagann. I'm like, man, that would be really sad to lose someone that important to you. But like, it's not like I'm sitting there crying or bawling like a baby. I'm very excited for like the what's next, what's coming next, what are we moving on to, what comes next, and Gurren Lagann answers that question very well. So I also really love it as a show because it moves on from that. Your sad switch is broken, hardly ever fit. Much sadder. We said it's manga. If you mentioned Hoshi Mamoru Inu. Is that the one that's doing the story of the dog from Shibuya, Hachiko? That's a sad story. You cried for Clannad season 1. Angel Beats episode 10. Oof. Anohana final episode. Anohana didn't affect me, I think, because everybody tried to tell me it would. I think it was one of those like, oh, this is gonna be so sad. You're gonna be so sad. And then I watched it. I was like, oh, okay. Grave of the Fireflies. But the finale of both Sakura Wars and finale of both Sakura Wars and Howl's Moving Castles did me in, both for different reasons. Plus, let's say I had a sad youth, sad to the point where most people self-delete. Okay, maybe I superclude the sad switch to make it really hard to switch. Yeah, that's important to do. That is a self-preservation thing. And it's good. Plus, your father's one of those sadness is weaker kind of men. My dad never was that. My dad was definitely like, it's okay to be sad, but he didn't cry often. Like the times my dad cried were like, I never really saw him cry. Like the times I heard like my dad cry, because we had 4 people in an 800 square foot house, 800 square foot house growing up. So like anything anybody said, you heard, no matter where in the house you were. But you know, I can count maybe 2 times in my life that I ever heard that, but it was never like sadness is for the weak. It was like use your sovereignty and do something else. Do like move on. What's next? Because it's important to be sad. It's important to feel sad, but then what? What comes next? What comes next is way more important than feeling sad right now. And especially if you got to the point where you're thinking about Minecrafting, then it's like, well, let's make sure that doesn't help again, even if it's just like a piece of tape that keeps the switch down, and then let's work on making sure that switch doesn't lead to the electric chair. Let's make sure that switch just leads to a light bulb that makes you feel a little bad. So it's important to do. It's important to rewire yourself sometimes, even if that means, taking out an emotion, as it were. And even without, like I said, it's even without getting to the point where most people would self-delete, like you can have really, really traumatic events that are just so sad that when you encounter another event, you're like, yeah, but I dealt with that. And this isn't that, so we're going to move forward here. One specific episode of GL or the show. One specific episode of the show. Maybe 2 episodes if you want to count it that way, but one specific arc of the show, I'll say. Glad you're here. Stop crying, some small town lawyer. It's important to not cry. You can feel sad. But crying and showing the emotion, showing the way that you feel can be detrimental to you as a human. That's the importance of stop crying or don't cry or don't cry. It's not that you shouldn't feel sad. When you lose a pet, when you lose a friend, when you lose a parent, a sibling, anything, you will feel sad. You will feel sad. If you don't feel sad, you need to find a psychiatrist to talk to, because that means there's something like kind of wrong if you have somebody close to you that you lose and you don't feel sad in any way. Even people who believe in heaven, they're going to see him again, all of that kind of stuff, you will still feel sad because you can't say hi right now. You're missing out on something. But it's important that you not cry. And the reason for that goes back to what I'm talking about here, where it's what's next. What comes next? If you're busy crying, you can't see what comes next. And if you're too busy crying and you got your head down and everything, you're going to get too down on yourself. And then like one man show's talking about, you get too close to Minecrafting because all you can see is the sorrow and the tears. All you're seeing is your own knees and your lap and their tears falling down to that point. So you need to stop crying. And what are you going to fucking do next? Because you can't spend your life like that. However, it's okay to feel sad. You can feel sad. It shouldn't feel good when you lose someone important to you, but you also can't stop your life because of that. That's the importance of not crying. Hasn't watched One Piece, it doesn't count. Probably. I don't think he'd ever watch all of One Piece. Haven't finished those movies, sounds awful. How many of you can watch die before you stop? How many people can you watch die before you stop feeling anything? Not strangers, but people you know. Interesting question. I think the answer should be none. I think you should always feel something with people you know, because it's someone you know. You could talk to them, you could say hi, you could do something, and it's not. You should feel something. You should feel something because something is now missing. So if you knew somebody, you knew them and you interacted with them and you could talk to them, and now you can't, something is missing. So you should feel at least that something is missing. And that something is missing leads most people to sorrow and crying and then moving on and getting over it. But you at least need to acknowledge that you've lost something, that thing was there and it's now no longer there for you to interact with. That's important. Black skirt with thigh highs. Are you talking from the past still? Is he still not caught up? Oh my goodness. Are we having like a deep conversation with someone who's not even like currently in the stream. Oh my goodness. You may never find out the answer. Summer Wars has some of the most wholesome dinner scenes, and Howl's Moving Castle touches your issues with time and knowing the future. Blaine is saying what I'm typing. Yep. I know people who do karaoke on YouTube. Treat it like a cover, and I think you're okay. Awesome. Awesome. We'll give it a shot on YouTube. If it gets the video pulled down, then we'll move on to Twitch or something like that. Grave of the Fireflies, I do want to touch on a little bit. I have a little sister, and I watched that show when I was very young. So while that show is very sad, it also was like an instructional of like, be a good brother. Be the brother that takes care of your sister because no one else can or is there. Or if no one else is can or is there, kind of a thing. And that whole like you know, you rag on your sibling, you can banter with them, but that show kind of gives you that like, let me give you the extreme of why it's important to be there for each other. And so that show, while being sad, I took much more as a personal instruction on be better, be your best, kind of a thing. You're locked out of Twitch. Your cell phone isn't 5G compatible, so you have no access. Oh no. Okay, so we'll try to do it on YouTube. Like I said, if they get blocked, we'll have to just make it a separate stream. You know, I haven't tried doing locals from the computer. We could try a local stream if it ends up getting blocked. Because I just don't want to have more videos where I make the videos and they're just gone forever, or I have to keep them down or something like that. So maybe a stream here that we then copy over to another, like Blaine's karaoke corner, and then we can leave it up over there and just private it over here, kind of a thing. We'll see. One Piece only has one emotional moment where it's gonna make cry, then experience loss without having anything anyone can do to stop it. You and the crews have to accept it. Wonderful morals from Grave of the Fireflies. It's true. It is true. Had to buy a new mower, so new phone isn't happening for a fair span of time. That's the worst. I freaking hate. Oh, like the last new mower I bought a battery powered mower, so I have like a nice electric motor now. A mower now. I had a push mower that I have stripped and rebuilt enough times that if you paid me for it, I could have bought like a new house. You know, like just keep that thing going. Oh, it's not working. Oh, it's not a spark plug. Oh, it's not a seal. Oh, I cleaned this. Oh, it's just working now. All right, cool. Mower works. Awesome. Great. Then I inherited a riding mower, and it was the same thing. It was like, oh, I got to do an oil change. There's the spark plugs. Oh, the new wires. Oh, no, I need to do this. I need to do that. Oh, the carburetor only works if you hold it at half choke, and then you can, and it's just like, you just keep that thing going until it finally just like, no. And I kept those things going for long enough, I guess, that I was able to save up so we could end up getting like a good battery mower. I think I went in on it with my mother-in-law actually to get like a nice mower so that we could have an easy. I just go down, I grab it, I flip it open, and it turns on. And you're like, woo! It goes. Suddenly, mowing isn't a chore. You needed the mower far more than you need a smartphone. Might get 2 calls a month on average. Grass always grows. That is true. Grass does always grow. And if the grass doesn't grow, the weeds grow. Holy crap. Easily hitting that 3 hour mark. I can't believe we're hitting 3 hours. I used to think like maybe I'd have like a 2 hour show where I had like 2 hours and then like a little bit of a wind down chat. But I feel like we're starting to hit those 3 hour marks like pretty consistently and pretty easily. Which I love. I love the chat. This is this show is an escape for me. So I hope you all get to escape at the escape corner, and I also can kind of banter around and we can have some fun chats, because that's something that I really enjoy doing, is some of the fun, weirder chats. And sometimes the people around you, agree with you, and it's hard to have like an interesting chat with people who agree with you or at least think along the same lines. And it can be annoying to always have to like take the opposite theory, like try to be devil's advocate to have the conversation. So I like being here in chat so we can get some good I'll call them devil's advocates, but like some other opinions so we can kind of bounce around. So thank you very much everyone for being a part of this. Based. You hope Kitty Bear is doing well. Not being here is disturbing you. Kind of. The fact is that Kitty Bear lives in a place where it's 4 a.m. when I start, so it would be like 6 a.m. his time, and I'm not exactly sure what he does. He could be in one of his like 36-hour sleepy times. I know he's in a place where he has the help that he claims to need. I don't know for a fact anything about him. You know, for all I know, he's just a troll. You know, it's the internet. It's a name and then they type. But if everything he says is sincere, then you know he's at an early time zone, and he just periodically will have to sleep for long periods of time, like a bear. He has to hibernate. Blaine will reach EFAP 6-hour averages someday, I'm sure. Once I get monetized and I can do all of the big boy stuff where I can like watch a video and not have the video taken down forever because I have like a lawyer that I can tap on to say, hey, help me fight this claim and do that, then yes, I will go. I will EFAP everything. And the best part of me EFAPing things is that I'll rewind. I'll go back because I thought I saw something or I think I remember something. I'll go back and I'll watch it again. And then we'll pause again. And then we'll go back again. Suddenly a 2-minute video is taking us an hour to get through. It'll be a blast. We'll have fun. We'll have a great time when I can finally like fight back against these things so that I'm not always having videos taken down like a ding dong. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out how to do this YouTube thing eventually. I'm used to just playing video games and being like, oh, hey, chat. Video game. Oh, hey, chat. Almost there. He is close. We're probably going to end the stream. I was hoping he would catch up before I ended the stream, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Boobies are fundamentally wholesome. True. Oh, he's not too far behind if he's already talking about TTs. Can't just say like that and Michael shows up. Here. Boobies and food, both great in anime. That's true. They know how to draw their boobies and food. What kind of anime is Kimi no Nawa? So Kimi no Nawa is time travel based on my need for your ability to, you've moved through the fourth dimension and you can physically interact with it. The little diary they share, the fact that they can write notes to each other, that kind of thing, indicates that that's a time travel show for me. It's a love across time show. It's a Milfy Mama show. That's what that is. I'll wait for you. EFAMP. Every frame a multiple pause. EFAMP. Yeah, Bear's in time zone where he should be sleeping, exactly. Biscuit Hammer is just stupid. Oh, not time travel. Paro made super location, mind connection. It's tough to discuss the genre because it involves spoiling a bunch of anime. Yeah, kinda. Interstellar is a time travel movie because of my definitions are broken. Is it? I haven't seen it. Like, if it has live people in it and it aired in the last 10 years, I probably haven't seen it. I think what gets me into the time travel category is the fact that they can interact in the worlds. They can actually affect and change like the physicality. They're physically able to, they can go back to my definition. Can they throw a rock through the window? They could throw a rock through the window. Not their body, not their time, They could throw a rock through the window because they have a body and they have a time. Sort of a Ghost in the Shell, right? You are your brain, not your body. So even if you go back in time or into somebody else's body in a different time, it works. It came out in 2014. Yeah, you got 2 more years. It came out in the last 10 years. 2014 was 8 years ago, and it has live people in it. I haven't seen it. The extent of his time travel is to be able to move a book on a shelf slightly. Physically interacting with the world. I have to be true to my definitions. If he can change his position in the 4th dimension, he can go move through time and then move a book. Time travel anime. Every time travel anime I've watched has the same, has the time traveling be a twist. Probably. High School of the Dead made me feel sad because it was cut really short and you were really liking it. Yeah, that's true. When are we gonna get High School of the Dead season 2? At least one man show. Did you watch the oh gosh, he's back on the sad conversation. He's not gonna hear this. At least watch the OVA. Your whole life is split into before 2014 and after 2014. It's a bizarre experience. What? 2014? It's a weird time. She has seen Back to the Future. Nice. You love High School of the Dead. I love Hot D. I love Hot D. High School of the Dead is so good. New Bleach is going to be good, hopefully. I don't know. I'll never catch up. It could be fantastic, and I'll still not care, I'm sure. Yeah, no, High School of the Dead is so good. So much fun. It's the goofy, silly, campy zombie show that anime deserves. That's for sure. But I am... so much happened in 2014. Your world view changed. Interesting. I think my worldview probably changed. I mean, it kind of changes every day. It's one of those things where it's like every day you learn something else and you're like, yeah, maybe I didn't think about that the same way, you know? But like, is like a major mind change. Whew. 2011 would be my sort of switch time. Did JoJo come out in 2014? Your memories from before and after seem to have a line between them. That would be great if your memories lined up with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Well, with that little teaser for a maybe next time conversation, everyone, it's been a blast. It has also been over 3 hours, and I am now hungry. And if the truth is true, if reality is real, there is potentially a marinated flank steak waiting for me downstairs. So I'm going to go enjoy that because I love hanging out with the chat, but it's freaking hot up here. It is like 80 something degrees in this room, and that's too many degrees for me. Well, it's been a blast. Very, very fun one. Make sure you clip out me saying that I love Hot D and share that around on Twitter. That'll get everybody real excited. Have a wonderful rest of your evenings. Enjoy your escapes. Make sure that you focus on whatever work you need to do to keep yourself alive and doing functioning as a member of society, and then we can all gather together and talk about how fun we have with our different escapes. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening. Kampai.